here in week number 3 of the Heroes Hearth Celebrity Clash League in-house matches. My name is Bahamut. I do see stream is up, and we have got some wonderful games for you this evening. I am also going to be joined by mcintyre. How are you doing, and are you ready for another best of 5?
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited. If some people may not know this, that there was a PTR that was added to Heroes of the Storm today, and with it came a ton of new changes to the game. And we're going to get to see some of the top players in North America battle it out on that patch with all those changes. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, we've got a lot of cool changes. So immediately I'm seeing our teams are like, why are we on Garden? I'm tilted. The reason being, one, we wanted to force these teams to play on Garden, and two, all of the cores now have a defense mechanism. So this one, Mac and I were talking like, well, which one's kind of the coolest? And we were like, maybe Tomb. And then he was like, Garden Terror. I was like, you know, we never go there. Plus, it's also a really good mechanic. So let's go ahead and get on in. We have on our left-hand side, we have Team Shock, and on the right is going to be Team Storm. As we said, this will be a best-of-5 series, so we'll be starting things out on Garden of Terror. And Tassadar, we have told the teams is not bannable for games 1 through 3, so that way someone or one team will at least be able to play it 3 times. We can see a lot of that high-tier Tassadar play. But Storm is going to go ahead and roll out and get their first pick priority here.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, the Tassadar rework actually was placed into the PTR today. He's now transitioned from a support character to a ranged assassin. With it, core things that have changed. He no longer shields. He no longer has his E deep shift. Instead, he's replaced that with his Q ability is now a slow laser that takes a little bit of long to channel, but then kind of pushes forward, slowing enemies and dealing damage. And his E has been replaced with his force wall, which is actually allowed a new heroic to spawn, which is, I believe the name of it is just Black Hole, I want to say, right? And it's essentially a bowling ball black hole that pulls everything with it, and if you get hit in the middle of it, you are stunned for 1.25 seconds. So he's lost his vision. He's now got a laser beam passive that stacks up as he attacks minions. You're going to want to see the Tassadars are going to try to get that built up before they go into a fight, or they can even activate their Archon immediately, fully charge their laser beam up or their passive. It's kind of like a Zul'jin, right? Like you gotta build it up almost. But yeah, we've kept both of the teams from banning the Tassadar, so we should probably see a first pick Tassadar here. And that is exactly what's going to come out here from the Team Storm, as we have Team Shock and Team Storm. As those are going to be our team names for the evening.
I think it's very fitting for the changes we have. And also, for anyone that is wondering, yes, we are on the PTR, so this is not going to be live. So we will be also be able to see what those changes to all the tower targeting has affected this push and also the aggression. None of these, I don't think any of these teams or these players have really gotten a chance to dig into the PTR.
Yeah, these will probably be their, you know, they probably play like 2 or 3 games, right? But I have to assume that these are probably some of their first.
Yeah. They've probably got a couple of games out here, so it's going to be really, really exciting. But they're going to go for a Tassadar, Stukov, and a Raynor. It's so weird because I was just like, why are they picking up? I was just like, oh, right. It's like still like Tassadar is a ranged assassin now, so we do have to see him like that. I was playing around with them. There's the questing talent level 1 for just his auto attack, which has like, it's essentially there's a
prismatic link.
Yeah, it's basically prismatic link, but with a quest to it, which is really, really cool. And I thought it was a fun mechanic because I was messing around with them earlier. Did you also see that there's the electric fence for force wall at level 4?
Yeah,
that feels like 100% pick rate to me. Like I was looking through the towns, I was like, that's probably every single time. Like a slow, and I believe there's a little AoE damage as well. Like that seems so worthwhile.
It's interesting because, you know, me and Paradox had a video where we kind of guessed what the Tassadar rework would be like, and we were pretty on it actually. We had said that the wall, or they took our idea, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we had suggested, you know, force wall come off the heroic. It have some sort of utility. We had wanted it to maybe have a slow attached to it if you walk near it, which they did. I had brought up that, you know, I would want his Q to be something quick and meaningful, but that also deals damage. Maybe some sort of slow. Cool. And we got it out of that. And I had suggested something like where they could add some talents that would make us want to pair abilities, because Tassadar felt very disjointed in his previous kit, where like he had a shield, he had this, you know, it wasn't like you wanted to do everything. Now you know, you have the 7 talent where if you storm and then cue them with the laser, you spawn a second storm, right? So it's like they added those tricks to the thing. Also, the major one was that we wanted an impactful heroic, something comparable to like a Hanzo arrow.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
I definitely
Black
think we
Hole
get
is
that.
exactly that. Yeah.
I absolutely think we get that here. The one thing that I thought was really cool as well, so, you know, we no longer can have force wall spam with the 20 talent tier upgrade. Baseline cooldown is 21 seconds, so the
2-second
20,
uptime to the wall.
Yeah, yeah, and then so I think the 20 adds 0.5 and it reduces the entire cooldown by 10 seconds. So it's still 11-second cooldown, which is it's a lot, but I don't know. The other thing too is like they, you know, dimensional shift doesn't exist, but they do have shadow walk. I think it was.
Yeah, it's a level
shadow
13.
something. Yeah, and it's got like armor, it's got some speed and everything like that. And I was like, wow, you can literally play Tassadar into different because like on the note of, you know, he's got different utilities and different builds and stuff like that. I think that's a good avenue where it's like, well, we're gonna play a dive composition, but we need our Tassadar to be able to get out of there. Or maybe someone picks up Garrosh and Tassadar's always being, you know, walked into and being thrown out. You have that option at level 13. So I think his kit just like on paper looks really good. I got to mess with it a little bit after work today, and I thought it was really, really cool. I think we're in for at least 3 good games of this. But we also did make an agreement with these teams that even if it is a 3-0, we're still going to go to a game 4.
Yep.
We'll make them play Haunted Mines or Blackheart Bears.
Or maybe just let him play another game of Tassadar.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe just do it. Yeah, exactly. But we'll find a way to make them play for all of you at home. But we are going to load into Garden of Terror. And thanks all for joining us, and for everyone that's just coming in. This is an in-house best of 5 series, and we got a lot of good players. But
5v5 TAS only. Yeah, I need to add some game sound actually. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're hopping into game number 1 of the in-house series tonight. On the left time, we are gonna have team. What is it? Storm? No, it's not. What is it? Shock. Team Shock. Carbon's going to be on the Sylvanas. Looks like Mach on the Greymane. Heavy's going to be on the Ana. Russ on the Joanna. And Funds is going to be on the Urel.
On the right-hand side, we got the members of Storm. We've got Gotfilth on the Rainer. Vesper's going to be on...
Remake?
I cannot...
Alright, remake.
Yep, it is. It's on West, of course.
It's all good. It's all good. We're going to... there was a point that I wanted to make that we can now make as we jump into this new lobby, actually. It's that... we had a TAS Rainer comp, right? And like previously a TAS Rainer comp would mean the Tassadar is just going to kind of funnel the Rainer and shield him and all that good jazz. But we aren't going to see that here, actually. It's going to be really interesting to kind of watch that comp that like for the past 5 years we've just like, this is how the comp's been played, right? And now all of a sudden it's getting played completely different. It's going to be, the TAS is going to be standing behind the Rainer. There's not going to be that pestering shield, and TAS can't step up himself and like shield himself anymore. So I think the biggest thing for these players, like you had said, you know, not having the deep shift on E, not being able to shield yourself, not being able to Archon and then E out again. Right, like all of those things are like core task mechanics, and while you know he lost them, he can still it seems like now he just pumps so much more damage out, right, at the cost of essentially not being able to die.
It's gonna be interesting to see like what his damage looks like, because I think like when he starts out, his health pool is like somewhere in like the 1,500 range, so he does not have a whole lot of health to work with early, and he can be bursted down. And speaking of burst, like those tower shots that if you do end up getting prioritized by, that does have armor reduction up to, I believe, like 40. The keeps in the forts will push that even further. As I need to check the server, make sure we did. All right, we landed in Central. So
we are Central.
Overall, I think we're gonna be in for a good one here. But as we said beforehand, on the left it's gonna be Shock with Mach on the Greymane, Russ on the Joanna, Funds will be on the Urel, Carbon on that Sylvanas, and we have Heavy Hooten on Ana.
And looking over at Team Storm, we are gonna have Vespertine on the Dahaka, Chijuggi's gonna be playing Murden, Legacy on Stukov, Gotfilth on the Rainer, and Noah's gonna be on that Tassadar. And it looks like Noah is taking I'm gonna call it prismatic link. It's I think amulet. I don't even know how to say the word.
Yeah.
Kaidarian.
Kaidarian.
I'm just gonna shrug, Baha. I don't know about you, but
Chat's got us. Someone
okay.
in chat has played enough StarCraft and knows the lore. Either way, though, we do have a little bit of a setup right now. As you can see, that is going to be the Q going across. That shock ray is being thrown out from that Tassadar. We are going to be having them split back up, and it doesn't seem like anyone's going to dive out too far. There's that force wall baseline, but 21-second cooldown onto that one. So we do get into rotations between mid to bottom. Urel and Dahaka going to be brawling out the top lane, but we'll try and keep an eye on this Tassadar throughout the entire game, because I think they're going to be the highlight of tonight's matches.
Yeah, there goes out the shock beam there as well. You saw it's kind of a slow beam, but it does do a good amount of damage, and honestly, it just brings utility to his kit, right? Being able to slow, follow up on the Murd and stun. Something that he hasn't always been able to do, right? So introducing that to him, allowing him to be able to I guess, bring that CC to the team fight when it comes to small skirmishes like that is gonna be really nice.
Yeah, I'm watching this top lane to see how Funz is going to pressure into Vesper, and it doesn't look like they're just going to be waiting back there and just soaking from a distance, because the towers will prioritize you, and they hurt. Like everything was buffed on them. The armor reduction. I will say this though, they did remove the slow off the tower, which is because that was the one worry I had. I was like, oh, if you're going to be giving them this much damage, you got to get rid of that slow. Otherwise, it's just anytime you walk in, you just feed. And right at the end of the notes, it was just like, yeah, and we got rid of the slow. I was like, okay, cool. Now this makes absolute sense. I'm super excited to see this actually in the live game. And it seems also that our last Nexus anomalies, the regeneration globes, or not the regeneration, but the experience globes are going to be staying for the next season, because they do have it still in this PTR.
Yeah. They, so it actually turns out that with the towers now too, look, so you can see Carbon actually just not prepared for the fact that damaging them there is actually going to aggro him. So he goes down to about half health here, trying to escape. Vespertine digging down. Waka's going to be in trouble here. The slow coming out from the Tassadar. Rainer putting out a lot of damage as well. Will it be enough? He actually is going to get out of there on a too much heals. But yeah, I mean, Noah, or not, who was it? Sylvanas there, Carbon. Just casual 50% health and minus 20 armor.
Yep.
As a Sylvanas, I was about to meme and be like, hey, the towers can't hit, haha, Sylvanas. And then it was like, oh, by the way, here's half your health, like 4 attacks.
Every like some of the patch notes I was reading, it was just like, after the tower changes, it's just like Sylvanas walks into the room, or Sylvanas has entered the room. Like, yeah, I think she's going to be even more prioritized within some of our drafts because of the need to lock down the towers and the siege potential from her. Like, I wonder if this will either encourage more siege type heroes, or will it just push more towards, you know, getting a good team fight and stuff like that. Like, I'm wondering how that's going to affect some of our drafts in the competitive realm, but they're going to be going back and forth over this nice force wall to keep them back, as Legacy's going to the channel. Fun's going to be trying to step forward, and they're not able to stop in time. One seed going over to the side of Team Storm. They're going to be chasing these further out. Fun's looking to get in here, trying to push them back with the Righteous Hammer. Nice sleep dart from Honest, going to find two. They're going to be able to get the kill on the Rainer and follow up onto the Sleep Off.
So something interesting here that I'm just observing is that for some reason Team Shock is like ignoring Tassadar, like they can't just kill him. Like they're just letting him stand there and laser them, right? Like that's not how the character works anymore. Yeah. Like you can just hit him. Like he can't just E away when he gets low. He can't shield himself. We do see a lot of damage coming out here on this fort. Probably gonna be able to take it down here. So the XP there.
You can actually see that they weren't even trying to hit Murd in that entire time until the fort went down. That's when they tried. We will have Carbon going down right there. There's going to be the auto attack just spreading from player to player. Heavy's going to be going down. This Tassadar is getting a lot of value right now. I just want to quickly check.
He's almost quested.
9,000 heroic damage already. Greymane, actually Greymane matching that exactly, but 31,000 when it comes to their damage and excuse me, when it comes to their siege, and they did just finish out that level 1 questing talent.
Yeah, and he's taking the full passive build. This is probably the same direction that I would have gone with a new character.
Yeah.
Especially that level 4 talent, just giving you the percent health whenever you have the full beam. A good use of the force. Oh, very close. Yeah, Noah needs to just maintain that beam. And you can see it right now. It's normal, and now it's to its full rate, right? It has an effect. and actually has a visual Q there. Maybe a Q here. Slow down heavy. Oh, great engage there from Funz to hammer out the Rainer. He is going to be taken down here. Legacy might actually fall here as well from Funz. A leap connects up in the top right corner. He is going to go down. Noah getting pressure here in the middle lane too. A tower is fallen from Carbon. Maybe those easy camps as well, just putting in some pain on the middle lane. They got to be careful. Juggy just trying to do his best to stop the capture from happening, but Heavy is going to be able to pick it up, and it is a 1-to-1 tribute. What's the title? What do we call it? Seeds.
One up on Seeds. Yeah, I'd say that. Pots isn't bad. Nice tongue drag from Vesper onto Funz as they leap in. Still gonna have a lot of siege down here. It will be 10 talents here on the side of Team Shock, but Storm not too far off themselves as looks like Vesper's opening up this bottom lane, and Funz is I wouldn't say struggling to clear this back, but the clear is just so much slower. But peeking up into the top lane, we do have a bit of an engagement. That's gonna be a Blessed Shield. A lot of things thrown onto Murden, but they get the Dwarf Toss over the wall. Juggy gonna be able to live through that one as they do get their third one procced as well. And now gonna throw out a Raider, and we have another Seed spawning here down towards our bottom lane. This won't be a Garden Terror for either team, but it still will be going up in a Seed, and you can potentially get that spawn for you next round. Maka maybe getting caught out here as the Stormbolt goes out. They have a lot of good damage right there, but Joanna steps in. Does manage to finish out the Subdue from level 7, excuse me. So they do have that 80% slow whenever they hit someone with the punish is there. Carbon steps forward with the Nano Boost as well, but I think that's going to be a disengage as we do have another Seed spawning here.
I'll be honest, I like Archon a lot, but I think I would have liked to see Black Hole here. Russ with an attempt there on Chijuggy, just sliding away. But yeah, I feel like it would have been really good synergy, especially with the Murden and the Haka, right? Or if you were to combo it with a Stukavi, it would just be kind of devastating. While Archon's really good, you're just kind of creating two Rainers at that point. But Chijuggy's looking in here on the hard camp. Gonna see if they can do a fight. Might break out here. We're looking in for the Dahaka dig as well. Chijuggy doing his best. The anti-heal has come out. A Blessed Shield of Bullet is gonna be able to connect the kill. The Sukov Silence is a lot of fun just tearing up the back lane here. Legacy and Noah on the run. Rainer with a nice knockback might be able to peel them out of there, but Russ does condemn them all back in. Legacy's gonna fall here. Fun's actually taking down out of all of that. Vesper team gonna be walking away here too, and possibly a 3v4 attempt. Anna's gonna do her best to sustain the rest of the team up here. Looks like a channel is going to go to a Team Shock. Yeah,
they'll go up in Seeds, and they do have pressure in the bottom lane. They're going to add to that with more Siege Giants. So Bruiser Camp plus some Siege Giants is not too bad to come through a bottom lane. Looks like they also do have Carbon ready to go. I'm just going to check. They do have their Black Arrows available, so if they want to lock down these towers to siege in a little bit faster, that'll help out a ton as the Chuggy steps forward and throws out a Stormbolt, forcing them away. It is, they don't want to aggro those towers. Carbon learned very early how much damage those can do, but another Seed will be spawning as Vesper continues to push out the top lane. This might get one tower, but we have Fun stepping in to stop that pressure from happening.
Yeah, you'll see the teams, I think. Oh, a nice tongue before the URL lands. But you'll see the teams. Like, well, yeah, that's a Liam thing, right?
Yeah.
he can just read it's coming, but it'll be interesting. You'll see the teams continue to press, right, to try to take some damage to tag the aggro, so that the forts and towers help them, right? I think we're starting to see that pattern already start to build.
Do you invade on this without 13? I think Chuggy threw out a Stormbolt, and that's going to be it right there. But that will be first Terror phase in favor for our Team Shock. We'll see what happens here. The Blessed Shield's ripped right into Tassadar. There's a Wailing Arrow as well, but that Force Wall bought some time. Noah is going to be going down. That will be a kill during this objective phase. Massive shove connects onto Grammy, but the wall's right by. The Sport Queen's going to spam on the screen really quickly, and this is going to be 13s up as they push in through mid lane. Durell may be looking for a flank of the enemy team on the top portion of our screen, but right now they're going to step into mid here, Mac, and they're going to try and find a kill.
Yeah, Chijuggy taking a lot of damage here, knocked out, but he does have the Avatar to keep him alive. Fun's learning what negative 40 armor feels like as the double tower is just pumping some damage into him. But we do have 3 Garden spawns on each of the lanes. Bottom lane actually pushing up, coming in. Oh, Vespertine's actually going to be able to pick that up. But it does look like maybe a top and mid fort are going to go down, potentially a pressure in on the mid lane. Sylvanas doing a good job to turn those towers off to keep that damage from happening onto her team, as well as the Cocktail just poking out. Noah with a Force Wall. It is going to miss, so they're just going to be able to walk away. Picking up a 3 fort advantage here, right? Maybe a little bit of free damage here in the top lane as well. I just want to Pepe hands at the fact that Noah got Blessed Shield mid and just died.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what Tass does now.
Tassadar's health right now is 2,686. It's still that's pretty far up there. I think it's comparable to just about everyone else in this game right now. Maybe a little bit higher than some others. Fun steps though into the back line. Righteous Hammer to force them back. There is going to be an isolation onto Sylvanas. The force wall's going to be forcing them back there. Ooh, they were hit with the nano blast during all of that as well. So they had no they had no value from the nano boost. That was really good isolation from Vesper. As Russ is going to be trying to stay on this point, they will end up going down. Ardent Defender was used by Funds, but the camp will still be stolen over in favor for Storm. And they're going to find a stray Stormbolt. The cleanse comes out on Namaka. They actually dive backwards. I think they make it out of this one alive.
The tongue miss, the force wall miss. Maka just
that was close.
Criminal, but Legacy actually saying, how about this? No follow-up.
Okay, smelling salts. The smelling salts got so much value to save them from Muradin. Ooh, and they just tried to throw out a raw curse bullet into Muradin as they were getting away, but I'll be honest, this turnaround coming out from Storm is insane right now, Mac.
Yeah, and this is, you know, this is always tried and true with Tass, and it still is, that if you can make it to level 20, then you have kind of a raid boss, right, with a permanent Archon. I will say that new permanent Archon is not going to, I don't think, be as oppressive as the old Archon Tass, actually, because of the self shield, and you know, you'd usually take like the life steal shield and then you just be autoing for mega damage. You will do a lot of damage, but you can't just permanently sustain yourself like you used to be able to. But we see an invade here coming out from Team Storm.
Stormbolt, nice force wall, but the Carbon gets over the wall with the haunting wave. Maka looking to jump in this as well. There are siege giants in bottom lane. Once they see that Tahaka engaging on those siege giants, they should step into this enemy side, and you can actually see that right now. They're going to play that aggressive. Fun's going to be zoning back as best they can. Massive shove, disengage, and a little poke out from Noah as well. I want to quickly just update everyone who's wondering on the questing talents. We do have the level 1 from Tahaka already finished out. Greymane actually dives in, and that's Muradin gone. They are currently sitting at 19 stacks on level 1 and as well as their baseline. Tassadar did finish out their level 1 questing talent as well. Joanna finished the subdue, and I believe that's it when it comes to questing, as we're going to continue to chase out in this bottom lane, McIntyre.
Yeah, Vesper looking for a nice ISO. He is going to connect on the Ana, so no heals are coming out, but I think Godfield is probably caught out here, just rotating away. A nice tongue connecting onto Rust, but this might be trouble for Legacy if he does get slow. A nice pushback. Vesper team taking a cursed bullet, but he does have his passive going. Carbon's taking a lot of damage as well. And it looks like the Rainer's actually able to get the back. They're just going to look to push in with a hard camp here into the bottom lane. Again, watching out for that tower aggro as Russ has pulled it here. But Sylvanas doing a great job to turn these towers off. And they're able to just take out that bottom wall.
Can we talk about Thermal Lance at level 16 right now? 8%? So Shock Ray deals an additional 8% of maximum health. Shock Ray itself, let's look at Tassadar really quickly. I'm trying to skim it and I can't find the information immediately. Hold on.
It's a good little chunk of damage.
I'm just trying to so it says additional 8%.
I would have liked it. I think there's a build somewhere in the world where you take the level 7 when you're full beam, your Q is faster CD. And I think in that world you take this level 16 talent. I would have preferred the faster storm damage or the passive igniter, especially with the Archon, because you can firmly get that. And Chijagi just learning what blessed bullet looks like here with no cleanse. Also, they are going to be able to pick him up.
Nano boosted Carbon as well. Pirate Rum was making a really good point in chat as well, which I didn't cover. The last little bit of that sentence is the first hero it hits as well. It's not like it's not like if everyone lines up, you're doing 8% across multiple heroes. It is the first hero, so don't want to skimp on that one fact. But it's 16's up on both sides, and I'd say it's a pretty good map number 1 for our first game in our best of 5 series here. Good push between both teams, but we're looking like Shock might get their second objective of the game, the second spawn of the Garden Terrors. And
we still have the sprinkles on for the top of the Sunday. And the fact that when we see this team get to the core, fireworks are going to start to go off, right? The cores just have these special raid abilities now that we'll get to see ignite when we do get to that point. But you can see there Noah with the amount of damage that he's able to put on Tamaka. But all of it kind of just eaten up by the fact that Ana exists in this game. Just able to sustain so much health. But Maka is looking a little caught out here. Stormbolt is going to miss. They need to be mindful of the fact that they do have that Blessed Bullet combo. Chijagi has to be aware of that, but you know, a good force here before 20 is coming out.
Look at Fun's positioning right now, looking to dive over. Gonna have a Righteous Hammer to knock someone away, but that is going to be a whole lot of damage on the Murder. They go down first. Dahaka does burrow, pops their Essence. Legacy trying to make their way out, gonna spread that push around to the friendly team. Fun's chasing in further. Is going to be able to get the Goomba Stomp onto the Stukov. They do find the Dahaka behind them. Meanwhile, Tassadar has found Heavy on the left-hand side. Raynor does go down. Noah is out of that Archon form, gonna drop a Storm. Sonic Storm, and that is going to be all 5 members of Storm wiped out, and they're going to move in through bottom lane. But here's the thing. They do have Sylvanas to lock this down. The core does have the new defense mechanics, so now we can see what's going to happen with that.
And there
so it's
going
to launch these seeds out. So these seeds, if you're hit by them, it does polymorph you. Yeah. So you do have to watch out for those. That's actually the old, if anyone remembers the old way the Garden Terror used to work, you used to be able to throw those out yourself. And so... just Funs in chat, but they're purposely getting polymorphed. The Garden Terror is smacking the core. I mean, look at this.
It's a 3-second polymorph. I mean,
that is too good.
Yeah,
oh my god.
I mean, I don't want to argue that that's a reason why Stukov's not good, but I would argue that that's a reason why Stukov's not good. Especially considering you saw Joanna picked, right? It was a 1-2 pick. So you have to assume that if you cleanse their engage, that their composition is useless. Because Joanna is like fairly weak outside of the fact that she has a strong R button. So I think just this was draft wise, this was not this was definitely a draft win for Shock. As we saw, I think Storm just didn't utilize tasks the way that he should be utilized. I think we saw the Archon build may not be as strong as we had assumed it to be. Black Hole would have been a great deterrent in the fights, as it would have pulled all of them out of position as they go to engage in, right? If tasks were to Black Hole every time they engaged on Murden, there was a lot of clumping happening, right, Bah? Like, I would say most of the time it was like Bless Bullet, they all stacked to go. If there was a Black Hole on top of that, you know, maybe that would have disrupted. I'd actually really like to see that Q CDR build coming out and just see how that plays. Maybe with the Storm talent at level 7, where after you Storm, if you land Q, a second Storm's cast. Playing him more like a poke mage that sets up rather than kind of a carry, right? Especially if you're already drafting, what was it? They drafted Raynor that last game, right?
Yeah.
That's my take on it. It's after seeing that game. I think he's still really strong. I just think that their comp was not. And so we didn't really get to see him flex as hard as he can. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe the character sucks. You never know.
It's like Tassadar had a lot of really strong moments in that last game, but it just feels like post like 10, they were just shut down every single team fight. Like they had an opportunity to make something happen, and it'd just be turned around immediately every single time. Like, and then they would also be getting just the Bless Shield ripped into them with a Curse Bullet, Sylvanas with the Wailing Arrow. Like they every single fight just went over in favor for Team Shock here. Storm had some alright fights, but maybe that Black Hole would have had some disruption. The Archon form to get into the backline and focus onto Heavy was a strong play. It just
I have to assume Heavy took the spell power shrink too, though, right? Like dueling Ana as Tass, it's not going to be enough, right? Like, especially with the fact that I'm not 100% certain, but in most cases, Anas are going to take the spell power shrink level 7, I think it is, right? Where you auto and your strike does spell power decrease. And like that pretty much just nullifies Tassadar completely. So we actually saw like it was it was 8-19, 19-18. He was 1v1 against Ana by himself and just like couldn't even get her below half health. So.
Yeah, like it started going a little sideways, and then they shut it down. They shut it down so well. I do believe we have everything ready and set for our next game here. We're going to be heading to Infernal Shrines. For anyone that's wondering, welcome. We are on the PTR doing a nice best of 5 series. for all of you at home, we have told the players not to ban Tassadar whatsoever, so that way one team or both teams, everyone can play some Tassadar. But the big factor too is just being able to see said Tassadar play throughout this evening. But Team Shock has gone up one up against Team Storm, and another thing that we want to make sure is we just get as many games for you. So we're gonna be rooting for that game number 5. But either way, we're here on Infernal Shrines. We do need to up the Team Shock score to 1, so at least everyone at home knows. But Infernal Shrines, like, we're gonna see Tassadar here, ranged assassin. Do you bank on them getting a lot of the shrine clear, or do you think you still need supplemental clear, poke, and help like a Rainer?
I think he's actually gonna be pretty good at doing the shrine if you go the Q build. His Q should be able to one-shot the skeletons. If you take the prismatic link build and kind of go down that road, you'll have the problem where you're just dealing a lot of the damage to the skeletons for the other team, and then they're coming in and cleaning up. But I think if you look to, just WQ the way, or the objective as tasks, you should just be able to mop up anything that's in the range of those 2 abilities, right? And obviously you have Force Wall. I'm surprised that we didn't see, Chijugi play Diablo, right? Diablo task has to be strong. It always was. So that's something that
Force Wall,
you force wall, and now you have guaranteed follow up in the fact that you can land your Q, to slow them, potentially set up you could do a black hole APOC, right? There's a lot of things. I want these teams to explore those ideas. I don't want them to play Tassadar like he was played. I want them to play Tassadar like he's now been introduced to be played. So
I can see draft chat, and then they're just literally arguing who gets to play Tassadar this time. Just Ana, Sonya for the left-hand side, though. Sonya's actually, I think, a very undervalued here on Infernal Shrines. I think her shrine clear is insane. There's the Diablos you're talking about. So either they're listening to stream, or they're just like, all right, you know what? We played it that way that last round. Let's play it, that old way, but we have a 21-second cooldown on that force wall. So they can, from the get-go, they can basically run that combo and potentially get blow-ups. And that's why you're seeing the Maya being picked up as well, just to have another dive target dive hero with that Diablo for more control, more disruption of the backline, or even to set initial target. But ban-wise, I'd be looking to get rid of something like Stukov's a great ban here, just to get rid of the zone potential. Seems like they don't want to deal with a Malthael. Calling it. That's Cho'Gall, right? If you ban Malthael, it's Cho'Gall instantaneously.
It very well might be.
Mac, hold on. Sorry. I have to derail this for a second. I was playing Storm League with some friends yesterday, and we got bodied by this Cho'Gall.
Okay.
We looked at it afterwards. They had a level 300 Cho'Gall.
It's a lot of Cho'Gall games, man.
They had played over 3,000 matches of Cho'Gall.
There you go. Why not?
Over.
Why not? Why not?
But that means you have to have someone playing with you during all this.
That's a lot of time together with a friend. Yeah, that's a lot of time.
Yeah. Sorry,
you got a friend just hanging out with you for 3,000 games.
It's like 1,000 hours of Heroes of the Storm for just one hero. All right, sorry, I sidetracked enough. We'll get back into the draft. Sylvanas was banned.
So, I have a freaky idea, and this is what I would draft right here. I would pick up the Zarya. It's like
I'm actually not opposed to that.
In a world where Tassadar was his previous form, I don't think Zarya is good. But like in this new world, I think Zarya could be really strong. Plus, the tower is aggro, which means you're gonna guaranteed be able to generate shields when you push in, right? Because you can auto insta aggro, get the shields out, generate that full energy constantly. Before, if you pushed in with a wave, it was hard to get the towers to hit you. Now you can force that. I would have liked to see a Zarya there. Again, just playing with the composition ideas here with this character, I think is I like this comp more, right? We have the Maeb, you'd be able to pull them into the chamber, throw the storms in, throw the black hole in, do the APOCs, do the silence. I know people think Stukov is really good, and he probably is, but maybe I'm an old dog. I can't be taught new tricks. I just don't feel like, like a Malfurion, I think would have been sicker here. An Anduin, possibly. Something to pressure this Mal'Ganis right outside of a Stukov silence. But
I think flailing swipe's also a good tool to have, as well as the single target, massive shoves, always good tactics. I like the ability to spread pustule around, his zone potential with the lurking arm. I think he's like, I argue that like this is a really, really good map for him, much like Alex Straza. Excuse me. Alex Straza is really good on this map because of her Dragon Queen form. She can zone. She, you can throw those healing circles behind you, out of the vision of the enemy team, and then you can kind of cycle in and out of those. So overall, like, yeah, like I see where you're coming from. It's just I think a lot of his utility.
I think I'm wrong. I think Stukov might be good against Mal'Ganis. All right, chat has spoken.
Stukov, I mean, Leon's saying it right now.
Yeah, like maybe I'm wrong, but I'll also say Stukov got bent over last game, so maybe in this game he has more power, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But looking into game number 2, we do have Team Shock going to be on the left side here. It's going to be heavy on the Ana. Russ is going to be on the Mal'Ganis. Fun's on the Sonya. Maka on the Hanzo. And Carvin is going to be playing that Tychus.
And on the right-hand side, we got the members of Team Storm. We've got Gotfilth on the Tassadar. Legacy will be on the Stukov. Noah's going to be on the Maiev. Vesper will be on the Yrel. And Chuggy on the Diablo. We can go ahead and get out into mid lane and check out our first engagement.
Okay,
also,
so Taz has gone Storm level 1. You know?
Yep. Cyan Fusion at level 1.
A little change up. I'm not really sure about that because it doesn't actually do anything other than give you increased range on Storm. So it's, in my opinion, like a 0 value talent, but we'll see how it goes. You do get the range, so you can poke from a bit of a further distance, a little bit safer maybe.
You get some mana return, but either way, there's gonna be a force wall splitting the enemy team. We have a shadow charge from Chuggy on into the Tychus, who could not get past that lurking arm. That's gonna be Vesper jumping on in, trying to find a Righteous Hammer, isn't able to get the angle, so they're gonna back right off. We do have the Sonya rotating into top lane, and now we begin our rotations between mid to bottom from the core 4. Also to note, Diablo already at 17 souls, Maiev on 1 stack of the Bonds of Justice, and 4 stacks on that Hanzo. Already 4 stacks on the Redemption, which they might actually lose a little bit of those right there if they get picked off, but they're going to use the agility to get over the wall.
You can already see the power of this past Diablo in the early stages, right? This was already a really good duo, and now being able to, put that force wall down to get the wall bangs out of Diablo from level 1, just the start of the game casually, is so powerful, and able to pick up a couple kills here already in the early game.
Yeah, we're gonna have simultaneous camp pickups that'll be going into mid lane. Seems like they're gonna grab each other. They're gonna grab camps and then just go and clear out the camps they got each other. It's just a nice little play into each other. There's no actually blink forward right there. Gonna use the Vault of the Ward and keep themselves safe. Diablo is still in bottom lane, soaking up those souls at 33 currently, making sure they build those up before the first objective phase. Will be Mortar in top lane. We'll get the announcement for that in about 40 or so seconds, and it'll be up and ready at 3 minutes into the game, and then we'll have some cycles after that one. But just continued pressuring between these 2 lanes, and no aggressive plays thus far.
Okay, so we actually see the Force Wall talent, and you were talking about this talent on Tassadar.
Yeah.
Force Wall does like an AoE, like has a
deals 108 damage a second to nearby enemies and slows them by 35%.
Yeah. So that's going to be really, really strong on the objective. It's going to synergize really well with the Diablo, pushing them against the wall. You can see here Maka, look how slow Maka and Heavy are there on the left side. Russ doing a good job to pressure, but I think that Force Wall is just pushing them off from engaging. Vesper team with a knockback here on Russ, but they got to watch out for these tower aggros. Juggy taking a little bit of damage there. You let that on. I think the biggest thing for me is while the damage is there, the armor debuff is like what's so massive.
Oh yeah,
it just makes
up to 40.
Yeah, it's like have you ever had an ice cream bar, right? Imagine how thick the ice cream bar is when you pull it out the freezer. But after like a couple minutes outside of the freezer, it gets nice and soft. Exactly what your character turns into after tanking 3 or 4 tower shots.
Just don't be an ice cream bar. Don't stand by the towers and be an ice cream bar. As we have Noah diving to the backline, going to get a pull onto Heavy. That's going to be Ana going down initially in this engagement. Overpowered from Diablo. Carvin is able to cycle back out of there, and they're going to find 1 kill. It's insane though, because the other factor too is, so forts and I believe front gates. So even keep front gate it's a reduction of 5 armor up to 40. Keeps though reduce it by 10 up to 40. That is. So if you try and dive or fight under a keep like that, those are the team fights that I'm most interested to see, and how quickly those turn, or how that really affects the way that, I mean, maybe it's affecting you right now, and we're seeing that that here no one's playing super up into each other's gates right now.
It would spell tragedy for a character like Kerrigan, who's going to want to jump over the wall. Even the man possibly.
Or Chen.
Yeah, Chen's another one. We'll see. On the last map with Garden, it turned off the buildings, but here, you know, they'll actually be aggroed by it. But the Punisher is going to jump in. So like here, like Tassadar's aggroed by it right now. They have 10 armor reduction. Night Rush is going to be coming through. There's going to also be Noah. It's stuck inside the lurking arm from Stukov, and they're going to be able to just back right. Excuse me, no, they were playing in the lurking arm from Stukov. Swap teams in my head right there. The Punisher jumps over to Maka. Russ is able to get the Hearth out of there, but this will be top lane fork going down. mcintyre, that's actually that's a big win on Infernal Shrines for a first Punisher to get a front gate and the entire fort itself. Interesting that they buffed the buildings, and now here we are watching the buildings fall down. I'm not sure if that was just a positional thing. Maybe Noah got a really good engage there, caught him off guard. But yeah, really
they forced them back really quickly.
Yeah, good dive there coming out from Team Storm to pick up that passive XP, right? They already have about a level lead, so having that passive XP is just going to continually trickle the game in their favor. The creeps aren't dying anymore. That's
I just saw that too. Wait, what?
What creeps? Is it minions? The minions should die the exact same, right? They didn't reduce the damage, did they? The damage was unaffected to the minions, right?
I believe any damage buffs to the towers were specifically just to heroes. So that damage is the same, but either way, they're gonna be clearing lanes out. They've got their 10 talents here on the right hand side. Vesper literally.
No, it's not Black Hole.
It's gonna be Archon. Why not? Why not Black Hole?
Why not, dude?
There's such good setups with this.
What are we doing? Look how good your team is at womboing. Why are you not taking this wombo big bowling ball? Like, what are you doing?
Maybe they just don't know the range and how it's gonna affect, and they're just like, well, Archon, I know what Archon does. Maybe it's just literally one of those things. Massive shove onto Rust. They take a bit of a ride right there. It might just be like they don't know what it is, so they just don't want to pick it up.
No,
I mean,
it reads. Just someone.
Here's the thing. Like, if I was the player, this is the only thing I'm seeing. This is the only angle I'm seeing. It is like they don't know how far it's going to go, or like, you know, any of the distances stuff or like cast range or anything like that. So how it's going to synergize rather than just being like, well, I can just pick up something that's just raw damage.
You know, at least Goshfield has taken like a new build, right?
That's true. At least we're getting different talents. We'll say that.
He's got a, you know, I'm not gonna say that he forgot a core talent there about the reduces CDR when actually, yeah, he forgot that. It's a level 7 talent. He's gone the Storm build. We'll see how it goes. Maybe he takes a 20 wall.
7 for Tassadar, Psionic Echo, where casting Psionic Storm causes your next shock ray within 3 seconds to only cost 30 mana and create a Psionic Storm on the first enemy hero hit. Yeah,
so basically Gothfield is going to storm, probably wall, storm Q, and then a second storm will spawn.
We'll probably see that unfold in this fight right now. Yep. Just really quickly, update everyone. We've got 6 stacks on Hanzo's Redemption, full stacks on Diablo, 3 stacks on the Maiev for Bonds of Justice. And we have our objective as the Sonya is going to be popping the Wrath of Berserker. That will be a shock ray coming through. Going to poke onto funds. Warden's Cage coming out from the Maiev. There's going to be a Archon form. It's going to also be a Carrion Swarm from the Mal'Ganis. Now trying to find the way into the backline. Massive shove will force Russ back, so not able to get onto Gottfilth here, who is in that Archon form. We have Vesper diving into the backline right now. Funds is going to be pushed around a little bit. Tychus will pop the Commandero and also get hit with the Nano Boost from the Ana, but right now we have just a nice back and forth. No one going down just yet, mcintyre.
Noah trying to take down funds here as well. Vesper is still full health though. Chijagi taking a lot of damage. A nice wall bang is going to come on to Rust. His Q is still backed up. A sleep is going to be enough. Special team hammering him out of that sleep, not be able to sleep this whole team, and they're on the assault here. Fun's gonna take a hammer. Special team, maybe another one coming in here. Knockback, potentially any follow-up at all. Tyke is doing a lot of damage, but Vesper team is able to get out of there. And yeah, there, you know, 36-35 here. Legacy looking to finish up the objective, and they are able to pick it up.
I think that's exactly why we didn't see a hard dive onto Funds in the top lane, just because of the fact that they wanted to zone them back and make sure they weren't able, because it was actually, they were behind on the side of Storm, and now they're going to grab themselves their second Punisher of the game, Frozen Punisher, and they're going to be able to open this up fairly easily. Also, Frozen Punisher now locking down the tower shots is even more impactful, but still, as we noted beforehand, this front gate will be reducing armor by 5 up to 40, but the keep will reduce it by 10. So that's just, watch that little purple, you know, circle on the right hand side and see how that gets affected if they do step up past this front gate.
Shijagi has not taken damage from anything other than those 2 towers. Wow. Yeah, good damage here coming out, and the Q is going to connect there. Russ. Fun's taking a lot of damage. May have ultimate. Snoop off silence. Archon is popped. Vector team jumping in there to apply the slow. Maka taking a lot of damage as well. Russ is going to have to pop this heroic. Just trying to sustain himself back up. And the keep is frozen here, so no help is going to be coming out here. And the keep. Juggy taking some armor. Russ trying to go back in. Noah is out of mana. So they're probably just going to look to disengage, but Vesper has some different ideas, possibly.
Just Vesper doing Vesper things.
Successfully be able to walk out. I will say that, like, there's like this little deep in the back of my head, in my deep dark brain, there's a little happening, because while Tass did just come out, I have watched Godfilth just randomly throw his Q, then cast his W, and I know that he took that 7 talent, and the fact that there's just no acknowledgement of it in these team fights as I'm just staring at him to connect it is like just causing me to hard read. Like, I just want him to storm and then Q. He keeps like throwing the Q and then he'll put the storm down and then not Q. Like, you see, he just Q'd and then he stormed. Why? You're supposed to storm and then you're supposed to Q. That's what the talent says. Why? At this point, we might as well just go full prismatic village with Archon, but that has just been bothering me. I know the character just came out, but like, it's his tooltip, right? Like, he took the talent, didn't he, Baha? Or
I mean, it's there. They have Psionic Echo at level 7. They also did go feedback at level 13. When an enemy hero is affected by Sonic Storm, Resonance Beam slow is increased by 50% and reduces physical armor by 25.
It's kind of that old talent you used to have at 7, I think. Or when you auto something that's in the storm.
I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about. Maybe you know, maybe they just had to. It's the pressure. You know, they want to show off this Tassadar to everyone at home, and they're not you know, rolling their face ever so correctly across the keyboard. Maybe moving it over a little bit will allow them to hit the keys properly.
There you go.
But Funds, maybe nope. All right, just ships passing in the night.
We'll see if he takes the storm talent. Okay, somebody needs to watch my YouTube videos. I don't know what these guys are doing. Thermal Lance. It looks like they like the % health here, the Mal'Ganis, but again, there's a CDR talent, right? Maybe I'm missing that, but I get it. Thermal Lance, Mal'Ganis, lots of health. We'll see.
We'll have to see. They're just gonna tank shots right now from this tower. Like, sieging in this tower, like, this is not so, you would never commit this many people for one tower in the past, but now it's you need to burn through it immediately, if you don't have a wave right there, as Tassadar's gonna get hit with a grenade. They're gonna chase out further. Funds is mounted.
He's got no way to E out of there as well, so potential chase. I would have liked to see the Hanzo era there. I think that Tassadar was kind of caught out.
Yeah. I think they had the opportunity to step forward. They are down talents here, so maybe there was a little bit of worry for that. But even then, they might have been able to pick up said talent through a couple kills, you know, setting up with the Hanzo, and then they chase further in. But either way, objective will be up and available. Third one of the game in top lane, going to be an Arcane Punisher, as Mal'Ganis and friends will be looking for 16 talents here before they re-engage. And by the time they get it, I think they're going to be needing to set up for a defense rather than actual engage onto this Infernal, onto this shrine.
And we're going to get to see the core fireworks as well, possibly here. The top wall is down for your side. What is it? God, why do I always shock? Yeah, so shock, as you see, we're now getting pushed in. Going to start putting pressure on that keep. Their team needs to be careful. Okay, so it does change aggro when minions hop in, which is very nice.
Yes.
But
It's when you hit an enemy hero. It's very much
there,
like
yeah.
exactly how the League towers work. Like
Okay.
you can be under it hitting the tower if there's a minion wave, it'll prioritize that. The moment you look at an enemy hero or sneeze or breathe on them, it's just like I gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll probably get to see some core mechanics here. This is an Arcane Punisher. The wall is already down. We do have the Tassadar with Archon up. We'll probably see some heavy aggression here, but I would like to see them try to use that ability of the armor shred to kind of target out maybe Chijagi here. Noah's actually going to be the first one to tank aggro here, and the arrow is going to connect here. 20% armor. Noah's already to half health, and we're going to see some damage coming out here onto the Punisher. Vespertine doing a great job of zoning the enemy team off. He's actually taking the aggro himself. This looks like Keeps still go down pretty quickly. Punisher is very healthy, jumping into the core now. Chijagi is going to be following that up. Maka out of position, a nice leap away, but it is not going to be enough. Vespertine following up on that as well. Chijagi walking out with about no health. Fun's looking to spin his way to the win, but it is not enough. Falling down there as well. As the core is looking to be pressured here. Heavy down there by the Punisher as well. Chijagi cleaning up on Rust. Carbon's probably going to fall here. Let's see if we can see some frozen orbs on the core. Look at that. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive.
So it's two waves of them and then yeah.
Yeah, that's...
It's not easy thing to really get around. Oh,
you got those little pockets.
Yeah. Diablo was struggling a little bit there, but yeah, like you can definitely position around those. That's an those arcane explosions are interesting. Or I guess frozen.
That's gonna be a GG from Team Storm. We're gonna have our very first not 3-0.
I'm happy for it. I'm happy. We got ourselves a series.
We finally have a real game of Heroes. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to continue to see these task builds. You guys, I don't think on stream can see that. Let's see if I go here. So yeah, so this was more of like a storm build. I want to say I actually really like the electric fence. I think I like it a lot more in practice than I do on paper.
Yeah,
being able to slow off of your wall and deal damage sets up a lot of things, right? It sets up your team to engage. If you put a Maev on your team, right, it gives her an easy engage. It gives the Urel an easier engage. The Diablo, obviously, the synergy we've talked about before. Even the Stukov silence, just trapping them on the Stukov silence. If they're up against the wall, they're going to be slowed. So I actually really like that talent. Actually, looking back on that game, but I'm still not sure about Sonic Echo at 7. I don't know.
I want to see the Shockray, CDR build you're talking about.
I'm telling.
That's
why are they not going it? What are they doing? Just take Shockray. Like, use the new ability. Like, let's see it. Go Shockray. Go Shockray at 4. Give yourself the zoomies, and then walk in there and melee black. You can melee black hole. It takes a second, but you can walk right up to them and just blast them with it, and it'll stun all of them. I want to see these. I want to see these players get a little more creative. You feel me?
I mean, like black hole sounds just like it sounds like a moving gravel bomb in a sense. Like I don't know why we're not playing into this whatsoever.
That stuns. It's a moving gravel. Yes, moving gravel bomb.
Mm-hmm.
That stuns. Like it actually just 1.5s or like 1.25s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If it hits, like, yeah, it's a lot juicier than these players are making it. Especially on a shrine. You know how they all choke through the left or right or wherever the shrine is at? The teams choke through that. You can send that from fog, and the thing just moves everyone back. And if you do it, like, if you set it up with a wall afterwards, maybe take the wall 20 talent with a slow wall. Just so many builds, dude. My brain's just going a mile a minute, but hopefully we're hopping into this next game. Looks like it is going to be Battlefield of Eternity.
Not a bad map here. Another good map for Tassadar as well. Like that's another thing to note on top of all of this is that we are going to be seeing a lot of good Tassadar maps. So
I wonder how the race looks too, right?
Oh, that's a good point as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like is like are we going to be seeing that Kydarian amulet again? Kydaria. Someone in chat will correct me, but either way, that'll be a interesting build. Or we just see the not thermal lance build, but the what's it called? Shockray build.
I would like to see like someone take shock ray at level 1, right? And try to quest it. I think that taking an electric fence is fine at level 4, but beam alignment is the other one that I'd like to see, which is while your resonance beam is fully charged, you get increased range and your shock ray cooldown is refreshed faster. Because at that point, then you can start going into things like Shadow Walk or Oracle at level 13, kind of providing more vision or utility for your team outside of just being Tassadar, right?
I mean, so far we've had 2 games of Tassadar. We're in our 3rd game. I'm expecting them to, like, this one they have to go into Shockray build, right? We've seen Sonic Storm build, we've seen auto attack build. Like we've got to, I think we have to get it at this point. It might provide some good fight over the race, but we'll have to see. Ban wise though, going into Battlefield, could be looking to focus down Greymane. Hans is a good option as well. Malthael sometimes pops in there, but they're gonna force out they're gonna get rid of Liam Zero because they didn't want to deal with that after last game.
She's kind of busted too because of her level 1 armor working on towers. The fact that she basically becomes a normal human after the armor is reduced off of her, right? Like, because she gets 50 physical, so like by the time she's taken 4 hits, she's back down to like ground zero of just 100, right? Her normal defense, I guess.
They're gonna like Heroes of Storm's gonna turn in is just gonna fall more into League, and like League's gonna fall more into Heroes because we'll start getting things like true damage or something like that. Maybe, you know, like we'll get into like towers have true damage. So like, you know, none of this that's a possibility actually. Like if they don't want that talent to be broken, I think that they might have to go down that avenue and say like, all right, it does pure damage. So if you have any sort of armor buff, you know, it just shoots right through that. But then you get into, I don't know, it's weird because then, you know, like, well, how does that affect Uther applying armor to people and whatever. But I don't know, maybe that's an avenue they take, but that will be a Deathwing ban. And we already saw the Greymane being removed as they don't want to deal with the dive and the blow up potential. But will it be a Sylvanas ban? Because honestly, locking down towers is really, really impactful.
It depends. They, like, in reality, they could leave the Zul up because you would assume that Team Shock is going to take tasks. All right, which will open up Zul for yourself, but Zul did get nerfed as well.
Was a health and overall health and
So what Baha was talking about?
Wait. Why are we first picking Li Ming? Are we not valuing Tassadar here?
Everyone thinks Tass is garbage already. Confirmed right here. 3 games in.
Wow.
They don't even need the character anymore.
2 games and that's it.
Yeah, that was all we needed. But no, I think what someone in the chat is saying is Baha's saying that like right now Uriel's level 1 talent gives her physical armor, and that physical armor works against buildings, structures. Okay. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's bugged, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure that's intentional. Maybe it is. But so that means that towers are doing physical damage. If the towers did, it's not bugged. It's intentional. Okay, so depression setting in. Essentially, the tower should do true damage to her.
Sorry, just the comment.
As yeah, that's basically why she's so powerful. Is she can just dive buildings into, well, especially prior to this patch, without a care in the world because they weren't doing any damage to her. But now they'll start, like I said, she'll start to take damage like a normal human. It'll actually affect her, but just normally, not oppressively. She's still a strong ice cream bar. You know what I'm saying?
Just ice cream.
Not melted. She's not melted at all.
Oh god, yeah. Either way, I'm looking at the draft chat right now, and I'm trying to figure out
where is the Tassadar Q build? What are you guys doing to me? Maka will take it. Maka will take it. Maka, you know you have the confidence. The character is not that bad.
By the way, we weren't talking about the core. We were talking about towers dealing armor reduction. Yeah. 2 different subjects here, team. Chen and Malfurion. Excuse me, Malfurion already. Chen was already grabbed right there. Do we see it?
What the? What are we doing?
We're just gonna go to the PTR and hang out in the PTR,
Why are we
everyone.
even here?
We don't even really care. We don't even care about our new hero right now.
Nah, this is a task last pick for sure.
You think so? Thrall solo lane? No, it would work out.
It could work. It's not great.
Maybe Tassadar solo lane? Maybe Tassadar's actually a bruiser now?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, wait, why a Genji?
Ugh, God. I'm sick.
Genji hasn't been...
Shinzi is... not Shinzi. Genji. Genji is useless versus their team.
I'm just going to put...
It could have been a task. It could have been a
just
task.
Question marks. That's all I'm going to send them.
I'm unsubbing. I got to get out of here.
I mean...
They just took a Genji into an ETC Chin comp. With a Malfurion, a Twilight Dream. You know what? I have a dream to see Tassadar played with a Q build, but guess what? Not today. Not right here, not now.
Hey, Mac, real quick. What's our prize pool split for this real quick?
So, we have a 75 for the winners, 25 for the losers. So we're out here playing for wins. Before we were doing even splits, right?
I sent question marks and they responded with 15, so I don't know if these teams actually know how much they're getting right now. But either way, we're up 1 on both sides. With Shock on the left, Heavy going to be on the Malfurion. Maka's going to be on the Vala. Russ is going to be on the ETC. We've got Carbon on the Li Ming, and we've got Funds on the Chen and top lane. Keg W in chat if they've added it.
Alright, on the right side, Team Storm, we have Noah's going to be on the Rainer, Chijagi playing that Murden, Gotfilth is on the Genji, Legacy on the Ana, and I believe that is Lamb going to be on the Thrall.
Okay, Leon in chat's giving us the breakdown.
Yes,
I see what you mean.
That is,
okay.
Yeah. 15,
I was just like, hold on. I was about to be like, wait a minute here.
That's why they're trying. That's what they're arguing, that they're trying because they want to get the W's, which also just means that Tassadar is not good, which is just depression.
Oof. Well, either way, we're down here, bottom lane.
Last week we had it 10 and we saw Dragon Strike, but ETC is gonna connect the slide of Root. Let's connect on to Noah. Noah might be able to survive here. Ana does a lot of healing after all. Yeah, he's able to walk
peeking into the top lane really quickly just to see what they have going on up there. They'll siege in through this bottom lane and try and open it up a little bit further. This is I wouldn't say it's like super try hard, but it definitely is going to be like they're really trying to take this series now. It's like, cool, we gave over a couple games, it's a best of 5 series. Now we're just gonna try and win. Yeah. See, what we should have done is we should have made Tassadar a
requirement,
a must pick for one team.
The team has
and then they have
lose.
Yeah, there you go. Power slide from ETC on the right hand side. Root comes out from Heavy as well. That's going to be a nice pick onto Noah. Reset onto Carbon, not able to find another kill, but they still find first blood on the side of Shock.
I'm gonna be honest, like there's nothing they can do to this team.
I don't know how you step into this right now. Because if you step into it, ETC's going to throw you back. Heavy's got a root for you. Maka and Carbon both have some sort of disengage, or, they can, vault or blink away so they can increase the distance away from you. How do you step into this? Do you just wait for the objective phase and try and play around that?
Yeah, I think the win condition is Thrall, probably, at this point. I think a lot of the pressure in this game is going to be put onto Liam. He's going to have to be the one who forces ETC's hand, maybe. Makes him slide, or punishes the slide, right, with a root or a potential... I mean, I honestly think this is a Sunder game.
I agree.
I think Sunder is going to be required, essentially, to win. So we're going to need a big Sunder into a Murden Sun. And then Genji's going to have to follow up off of that, and they need to get a pick on that window. Outside of that window, I don't... Okay, actually, great stun there. Good follow-up.
If they can... Yeah.
Like, that's what we want, right?
Sleep Dart, Rainer throws in a penetrating round, Li Ming gets a... Yeah, if they can catch someone when ETC's kind of not right there, that's going to be a good way for them to slowly whittle them down and be able to get themselves back in this game experience-wise, maybe even get themselves up in the later half of the game. But mcintyre, it's the first objective phase, and this is just going to be pure race between both these teams thus far.
Yeah, we have 4 on the objective there coming out for Storm side, and they are going to... Oh, okay. Liam's just going to solo kill the Chin in the top lane while the race is being lost as well. So they're in an advantage position here. They really want to make sure that they guarantee themselves this win. I like Legacy actually positioning aggressively here, looking for the sleep. Ana's not going to provide too much damage to the objective. And with the Exterminator on Raynor, it looks like Team Storm is going to pick up the first objective and potentially able to snowball the game to a point where, while their draft might not be stronger, if they get the experience lead, you know, have the numbers advantage, it's possible to win, like, have that become a win condition in itself.
I saw someone in chat mentioning Sylvanas is probably going to be even better from these changes. We did see Sylvanas in game number 1, and I would say that her push potential, being able to lock down towers, change like that's a big advantage in these games, I think. I definitely think even like across tiers when it comes to like different, you know, leagues and stuff like that, we're going to be seeing a lot more Sylvanas priority, and they should be picking it up because she's such an impactful force. Or she'll just be banned out constantly. We'll see either way, but 7 talent here in favor for Storm as they're going to push up through this top lane with the first objective phase. Sorry, just the chat right now, just literally like flaming each other's talent picks.
We see Liam actually picked up Buns here too. Solo killed as well in the bottom lane. So they've traded now a nice 1-for-1 on each other. I would say on this map, it's actually going to be way harder to push for the objective, right? Being able to just force a fight while the other team's Immortal is pushing in. Before it was like the Immortal breaks the fort and then everyone's like, okay guys, we need to go, right? Now it's like, hey, we should probably just like fight them here. Have the aggro change. The Immortal will continue to punch the fort, so you have to be careful of that, but we actually saw Russ kind of just slide in there when they were pushing and it immediately stopped the push. So I like that aggression. And this might be one of those maps where the tower change, really, you really see it, you know?
And that's actually a really good point, because I think I see that in a lot of the games that I cast is teams, you know, they're just like, if they feel like it's a losing objective, they're just going to back off. But now it gives you, not an advantage, but it gives you almost an enticement to be like, all right, we'll stay and fight under the fort. You actually might be able to swap the aggro. And those shots, we've seen it consistently throughout the evening. Those shots really start to hurt. Like, you hit the 3rd, 4th, you know, onward times, that's really where it starts to chunk. Like, you can get hit by 1 or 2 and it's not too bad, but once you start to get, you know, consistent shots onward of 3, that really just starts to chunk into your health because of the armor reduction on the said hero. But another objective phase will be popping up. We don't have 10 talents just yet, but it's about a level away on both sides. Nice step from Muradin right there. That side step from the Li Ming combo was really well done, but we'll see who wins this one over, as I still think race potential-wise, we are very much in favor for Shock.
Yeah, and we'll see if these teams choose to posture, try to get to level 10. The race advantage is definitely going towards Shock right now, as they have already gotten, you know, a great head start.
Yeah, their positioning is just insanely, like, they were on the point, and the, you know, just the rotation, like, yeah, they have Raynor with Exterminator, but it was just like they're already there, and you can see they've already burned it down quite quickly. But I think this is defensive for both teams, as we see ETC tapping well and Chen still looking to soak up for 10.
So this is the window where Genji should be getting value. I don't think his presence on this hard camp is necessary at all. He should be racing, right? There's really no one on Shock's side that can, I mean, I guess ETC could W him down, possibly, but he, you know, could have probably chunked out a couple bars of that Immortal's health while they were doing the hard camp. He wasn't necessary there, and now both teams are at 10-10, so we've gotten to the posture point in the game. We'll see how it blows out here.
Oh, Keg W's in chat. We got a nice wandering Keg. I'm just, Heroes Hearth, I know you're listening. Just add it to the channel. We need it. It's a necessary thing for our in-house league. Fight's going to be breaking out. We have everything is off cooldown currently. Earthquake is going to be the choice for him for also no Sundering. There's going to be ETC lockdown in the background. There's going to be a nano boost onto Vesper as well. Moshpit coming out, the Wave of Force pushing him on into that one as they do find a Thrall kill initially. We do have this Burden trying to leap around. They find the penetrating round of the leaping, so a 1-for-1 trade thus far in our engagement over this Immortal phase. His Funds is going to be taking a whole lot of damage. No Wandering Keg can be propped, because it is actually already on cooldown. I missed when it was initially going out. They tried to get the stagger damage, but you can't drink through that much pain, Chen, and that'll be a 1-for-2 in favor for the members of Storm as they look to step forward and burn down this Immortal on the aggressive side.
So I would actually say that Liam did kind of win the team fight. The Thrall was the deciding factor. Being so resilient as a character, he was able to just like casually tank all 5 of their heroes' damage for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 seconds. He went through probably 3 of their heroics. I think Keg was used, Mosh was used, Rain of Vengeance was used, and you know, while afterwards he was able to go down, you know, at that point Genji and Raynor had gotten massive times of window to deal damage, right? So they were able to win that fight. It was a really well played team fight from them, and the Immortals pushing in now.
We got a sleep dart went out, didn't connect. Chen just gonna be drinking up a little bit, throws a Keg backwards. Wondering Keg is off cooldown, Wave of Force as well, but no Mosh Pit just yet. Ooh, nice power slide. Rain of Vengeance coming out, and they pop Raynor immediately. Reset for Li Ming as Murden will have to use the Dwarf Toss over the wall to get the power side of that one. Nano Boost was thrown onto Vespers. You can see that yellowish glow around them. Wandering Keg's coming out. They're trying to split the team that's going to be... They're holding it. That was a really, really good hold of the Wandering Keg to make sure they didn't force the Murden too far away from the team that was trying to dive onto them. Avatar form was popped by them. Funds on the right-hand side is being pressured out by the Genji and Ana, but they're not going to be losing out. They're not going to be losing their chin right there, as the Mortal will be going down in the keep front gate, but they managed to get a fort in bottom lane as well. Really well played coming out from the side of Storm.
Yeah, and that was basically the example of what would happen in a team fight if Raynor was the first one to get engaged on, right?
Yeah.
Immediately the fight is lost. You see them just on their back foot trying to retreat. I'm not even sure Earthquake was up there, right? Like, very big heroic. Massively important for that fight. It was down as well, so yeah. Just a good window, honestly, from Shock to push in there and abusing the fact that if they push with the objective, a 5v5 fight can still happen. So I like that a lot from Shock, and a good ETC Rain combo there to pick up the Raynor.
So they're going to be... I'm waiting to see what they're going to do on this left-hand side, but it seems like we're just waiting for 13s in an Immortal phase. This is going to be spawning in the left and the right-hand position. If you are looking at the minimap and wondering which side, you know, who it's going to be, blue or red, or on what side, Axis will be the racing side, and as observers, we always see the left-hand side. So the Axis will be the race side for the members of Shock, and Storm will be racing on the right-hand side. But we might have an invade onto this camp right now, as they are going to force them back with the face melt. Wandering Keg coming in, forces them off the points. They burn that. They're actually splitting this team as they're going to power slide out further, not able to connect onto another fight. Vala also at 14 out of the 20 stacks on that puncturing arrow at level 4, and 18 baseline stacks for the Murden, as well as 9 on the Perfect Storm for them.
So something big did happen there. The Wandering Keg was used, so we now are down a single heroic, and this is a potential window for Team Storm to kind of step in and take the fight, knowing that that Keg is down. And you can see even here, right? They just go right into the race. Probably going to win the first 50. Very close.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, a lot closer than I would have thought, if I'm being honest. But I guess Q-Build, Bala, see if she's completed her quest. Very close to completing the quest as well, so... I guess...
Their positioning's pretty good for this right now. Yeah, I'm trying to see both of these. Chen is going to be over there. Wandering Keg is up and available, and you're going to see them use that right there just to slow down the race onto their own Immortal. It buys enough time. They get to the far side, and that will be Immortal. Third one of the game going over to the side of Shock. They themselves grabbing their first Immortal, but this is huge for them as well. They have got this Shaman camp in bottom lane, and this left uncontested, as long as the tower doesn't aggro into it, that's going to free push and easily get a fort down there. They are setting up for a massive win during this objective phase here in McIntyre. Yeah,
this is going to be a big window. You even see Thrall has to go down there to try to defend it. That Summoner camp probably would have taken the wall out, and during that time window, it looks like Shock's just going to be using it to push in for the fort here. Things that I really want to watch for here is, you know, how aggressive Shock is with these new tower changes. Where will Thrall be positioned in this fight, maybe to bait some cooldowns, and how well does Funds use his barrel? Those are all the 3 things that I think I'm looking out for as we push into this.
It is off cooldown. They made sure they have full brew in their belly. They're ready to go. The Immortal is going to be stepping up to this fort. Chen going to have enough to share right there in case they need some shielding. There's going to be a nano boost onto Vespers. They're going to be trying to force them back. ETC will use the face melt. Looks like they're going to disengage from this Immortal phase. They're going to leave the keep around half its HP, and I'd say it's a clean disengage. Yeah. They will be able to back off, grab 16s, and then force a fight with a talent tier advantage.
Yeah, just not overextending their welcome.
Yep.
Recognizing that, you know, that keep could potentially change the flow of that fight, knowing that, you know, now they have the talent tier lead, they can just ride that out. They've repossessed the advantage that I guess now Storm has kind of thrown away, right? They got those early picks, they got 2 immortals, and are still down half a level in XP.
Yeah, I mean, we can look at it right now. I'm looking at the breakdown of the experience. We have 3,415 heroic experience for the members of Shock, and then Storm's only going to be sitting at the 2,539. That's a 1 kill difference, but these later game kills have yielded so much more experience, and there's other, you know, camps, and there's other things they've been able to grab that boost that experience up by about a level lead, maybe a little bit less than that, but they're going to soft push this bottom lane. Chen has enough to share. They're poking with Carbon, throwing out combos consistently, and they have a wave that's also anchoring. Chen going to wandering keg in. They're going to be forcing them back. The wandering keg does get armor, as you see it just now being reduced to 15. Going to drink up right there. Nano boost was thrown onto Vesper, but I think they just disengaged from this and they pulled the nano boost away, only spending their wandering keg and a Rain of Vengeance stack.
Yeah, we might even be able to see Russ connect with a kind of turn mosh pit here if Storm continues to push forward into them.
True.
But yeah, just a little quick exchange. The Nano, the X-Strike, even the Raider falling down here for Team Storm. Not really heavy CDs. I'd definitely say the Earthquake and the Avatar are much more important. But we actually do see the Mosh Pit come out. Vespertine is able to get the Earthquake off. The Silence is going to connect on him. Carbon with the reset here. Will he be able to pick up more than one? Noah takes an orb right to the face. Half health. He is going to activate that heal. Got Filth taking a lot of damage. He deflects the damage away from the Magic Missile. Chuggy able to jump out of the root as well. Legacy's trying to be clean, but not clean enough. Carbon picking up another kill here, and that's gonna probably be a full MO.
Yeah, this phase definitely goes over to them. This will be going into bottom lane, and luckily for them, they did prep this by you know, soft pushing that front gate a little bit ago while they had that 16 talent tier advantage. And the reason we know it is going to be bottom lane is the mechanic for Battlefield of Eternity. The Immortal will always go to the most well-defended lane, so bottom being a more healthy keep will be focusing onto that one. But they're going to get some armor off of the Immortal on the opposing side, knowing they won't win the race, but at least reducing that armor by, I'd say, 50%.
Yeah, that was actually
yeah, that's a big win.
Yeah, and we did just see though before that, right? Team Shock had softened that bottom lane with that slow push. Enough to share with the Ming just kind of poking down the wall. So there is no wall here. We'll see if we decide to fight past the Immortal, right? That's pretty typical on this map. Maybe with a flank or whatnot. I'd like to see them just hard commit to a fight under the keep, right? Just hard commit to it, go all out, see what happens. If it gets past the keep, I think defending it on the core is going to be much harder. I think we do get the shocks on this map too, or not the shocks, the freeze novas.
I think it's the frozen nova,
which are pretty strong here, but you see the fight breaking out. On is actually going to get caught by the circle stun. ETC following up as well. The Rain of Vengeance is going to put a lot of damage. Chuggy jumping in there, going to be the only one that gets silenced. ETC is taken out. The sliding in there actually turned away. Chuggy getting a keg W here, knocking him around, but he is a Murden after all. I think that's going to be about it here. Maybe some frozen orbs spawning out of the core.
Nope. Not enough. I do want to point out, because we were talking about, you know, Uro with level 1 in that last game. Wandering Keg has 25 armor onto it, and so it was. I was watching it earlier when they actually when they jumped in and Wandering Keg when they were soft pushing the bottom lane before this Immortal phase. I was watching and I was just like, oh wait, no, Chen can do this too, because Wandering Keg gives you that armor, so you can still dive in and tank a couple shots for free in a sense in that Keg, but you can see them trying to sidestep as much ability damage as possible. They managed to do so. Here's the other thing to note though: there was a camp grabbed in bottom lane, and they have consistent catapult pressure coming in through bottom plus that camp. They're going to need to manage that on the side of Storm, but Funds and
this is good by
themselves a burden.
I think this is good. This is exactly what he needs to do. This is the classic play stupid. You just need to beat. Yes, exactly. Noah getting caught here, that's fine. Fun's going to be barreling Noah back in, but is he going to be able to survive here? Anna trying to keep him alive. Noah does fall. Carbon's going to get the reset here. Fun's taking a lot of damage though. The anti-heal, no barrel is going to be up for him. He's going to stagger all of this damage though. Juggy taking a lot. ETC connects onto the Thrall. Juggy goes down here with a Q's connecting, and the root also falling on the Vespertine. Landing the combo from Li Ming. That's going to be another kill. I like that fight, actually. While it might lead to the loss, It was
That went so sideways.
Yeah, it
Oh
was
my
an
God.
18-19, and we see the frozen orbs actually. Let's see if Gottfield can do anything. He's playing Genji, probably one of the weakest characters in the game currently. As you can see here, doing pretty much no damage. He does get Twilight Dreamed and dies instantaneously. Fun's just drinking keg the whole time, just having a few drinks.
Just full duration on Mosh. Wandering Keg coming out. They're going to be focusing on the core. They've got a wave here, and I think the members of Shock are going to be going up 2-1 in our best of 5 series, and they're going to take this Battlefield of Eternity map. GG. Well played.
What is this score? That's a good question. Yeah, it's... Oh, man. As if it's not hard to see my distaste for the character pick. I really like that fight, actually. I think that's a fight that a lot of players don't take, and it's one that gives your team a chance to win, right? While it potentially puts you on the back foot going into the fight, they were allowed a 19-18 potentially for the game, where if they hadn't have forced that fight, we would have gone to the objective. It probably would have been a 2019 push with Immortal to the core, right? So they at least gave themselves a chance. But Shock was just able to play the team fight better and pick up the victory.
It was some good back and forth. They lost the first 2 Immortals on the side of Shock and Storm.
First pick too, I think.
Okay.
Yep. He's just typed it.
Okay.
Yep.
I see just above that. Okay. So there is that. So we'll find out what our 4th map's going to be here, but it was such a quick turnaround. Like I thought that, as the game was going to progress, that Genji would be getting some backline value or something into heavy, but it was just shut down. Like Chen was really good at bouncing around. ETC was always good forcing the enemy team back. I think it was really, really well played. We were talking about it. You were saying, like, I don't know how they beat this composition. I was like, maybe there's windows, and they had some good opportunities, but it fell apart like right around like 13-ish, maybe a little bit before. It really started to kind of fall apart. But we do have a map, so I'm gonna go ahead and start making that really quickly.
A potential Tassadar map too, I must say.
Every map's a Tassadar map. Do you think they'll ban it? Is the question. With literally not picking it last game, do you think they'll even ban it?
No. I think I don't even know if they'll pick it though,
Just try and force it.
Dude, just take Tass and go black hole. What are you guys doing?
Exactly, there you go. Just give the viewers what they want.
It's not
also us.
Yeah, it's
mostly
like,
us.
Wait, I just want to see this.
That is true. Like I'd like to see some sort of synergy around it.
It's gotta be good.
That's up to them to figure out, not us. We're just here to cast.
It's gotta be good, Baha. Like it has to be. It's a line skill shot. What did we say? It's a Gravo that stuns.
Yeah.
What is bad about that? It's a moving Gravo that stuns. You know what that does? That stops ETC Mosh Pit. That stops Twilight Dream. That stops Li Ming from popping off. That stops Vala from tumbling in. All sorts of things get stopped if you throw a bowling ball of Graviton at them.
Also, I'm just gonna say this: like, what if you threw that out? Ring of Frost.
Yeah.
Entomb.
Okay.
Maybe instead of Ring of Frost, maybe you Pyroblast.
A bit of an overkill, but yes, I see where you're going.
But just like you got these wombo options.
Yes.
Like, what if? Hold on. What if you Warden's Caged?
Yes.
Mosh Pitted.
Yep.
Black Hold. Like just that dirty little setup right there. Like Flame Strike, Ignite underneath them. I don't know. Like
Pop goes a weasel.
I would really, really, really like to see it, mostly because, well, I'd really like to see how these players play around it and what they can set up with it. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe the last game was a meme, but we have got game number 4 for all of you at home. We're going to be heading to Volskaya Foundry. And as we load into this map, really quickly want to remind you all at home that we are on the PTR. This is currently the patch that dropped today, so we are seeing all of the new fun changes. We have forced these teams to play on a patch that they are unprepared for. So we've got Tassadar rework, we've got the slight Zul adjustments, some bug fixes on some heroes, we've got the map and the Nexus anomalies for next season is showing up already for us, so we're just trying to showcase all that for you at home. But we find ourselves here, game number 4 of the evening. Shock is up
Yep.
Excuse me.
I gotta
Yeah, Shock is
edit
up
that.
2-1, and
Wait,
this could
Storm.
be our final game.
Oh no, it is Shock. It is Shock. You're right.
Okay, phew.
Yeah, I was like, Shock is my left team. Yes, they're up 12-0.
12. Oh wow, man! What are we on a best of 21?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's. I would have rather seen Tass than Genji. Let's just put it that way, Bahamut. I'll just be real with you.
I think a Tassadar would have had more effect than a Genji, but that's
He would have held waves.
That's my Plat 5 opinion, okay?
Yeah.
Rank determines your knowledge. If you didn't know that,
I
so
guess
whatever you're ranked in the game.
I'm not the player I used to be, but there was a time when I was pretty good at the game, and I would say taking that previous knowledge and applying it to Genji, he is not good.
Just one here.
He's not
Here's a good example. I cast for multiple leagues, multiple different divisions of skill, from your bronze casuals to your grandmaster tryhards. Nobody takes Genji. Nobody takes Genji. The only times you see Genji is when you have that one friend who's a grandmaster trying to pull their friends out of bronze.
literally.
That's the only time you see Genji, because at low ranks, the Genji by a high skilled player is just disgusting. But that's really the only bubble it exists in my opinion.
Genji is just like an attempt at a flex when like you're obviously just having to work harder than everyone else just to get the point across that you're playing Genji. Like, that's it. There's literally nothing else to it.
So, on the note of Tassadar, Ana, Tassadar, what do you think about a nano boosted Tassadar? Because I feel like that could be insanely powerful.
It's like good and bad.
I mean,
because his Q has a cast time, right? Like that's what holds it back.
That is true. That is
unlike
true.
a Jaina who, nano gets boosted and just spits everything.
QWE just done. Yeah. You're dead.
Yeah. I honestly mean both team comps currently look like we're not seeing Tass again. If I had to be 100% honest with you.
I mean, so in last draft, in the last draft lobby, I could see that they were trying to goad each other into picking it, and the side of Shock said double mages sucks. So yeah. They've already got the Li Ming on the left and a Jane on the right. And Sylvanas will be banned out. And we were talking about that a little bit earlier about how strong Sylvanas will be in our current meta or our upcoming meta. And I still think like Siege heroes overall are going to be really impactful. Anything that can summon things like Zagara, Asmodan, like those are going to be strong heroes as well, because you can just redirect those tower shots, or at least add things to the waves. Obviously, you can't redirect if you're hitting heroes, but you understand my angle on that one. But Malfurion and Blaze to be picked up here. A lot of good disruption. This is a very strong core for Shock. They just need some extra reset potential for Li Ming. Like a Hanzo would be great with them.
Hanzo would be good. I mean, if I were to go back a year and a half ago, Heroes Hearth would probably take a Thrall, 5th pick.
Oh, I like that Thrall too.
That was a very classic draft for us, just because.
That's a good steal.
He's so resilient. Like Thrall's such a resilient character. He's follow up on the ATC.
So Li Ming can potentially have self-sustain. She can get health back when she gets kills if she goes into that. ETC's got self-sustain. Malfurion can just throw a leaf on everybody. Blaze can self-sustain. So yeah, Thrall, that team would be so hard to kill, and I agree with you. I was thinking the Hanzo is just more range poke. You have the Dragon Arrow to set stuff up, follow up, the setup or follow up after the Blaze or ETC, but they stole that away because it works really well for them on the side of Storm. They're just going to go ahead and pick themselves up some sustained damage, which isn't bad either. Like, just having that Rainer throwing in, like, even Exterminator here is really good up against the Triglav Protector, or even just racing down camps. Like, you can go ace in the hole, absolutely, but I think Exterminator is really, really rising in popularity because of the fast wave clear, shrine, or camp clear, as well as objective defensive tools you get from that. I really, really like this draft coming out from Shock, but I think Storm might be able to take us to a game number 5 with this draft. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, the Rainer pick is pretty strong, but
yeah,
taking Rainer into Joanna, a bit questionable.
I can see that.
Also, sustained damage versus Ana, also in my opinion questionable. They already have the Ming ETC slide, so they kind of need to kill off of that, right? And so I would have liked to see something that assists in that, press to kind of gain, let's say, lethal These guys just trading trade secrets with each other as they fix the front of that car. But we do see these teams jumping into Volskaya. We're gonna have Team Shock here on the left with Heavy on Malfurion. Malk is gonna be on that Rainer. Carbon on the Ling Ming. Rusty T gonna be playing the ATC, and Funds on the Blaze.
On the right-hand side, we got the members of Storm trying to take us to a game 5. We got Legacy on the Ana. Filth is going to be on the Jaina. Vesper will be on that Leoric. Chuggy is going... Chuggy, oh my god. Is going to be on the Li Ming, or on the Joanna, and Noah will be on the Hanzo. First engagement of the game. We do have that Exterminator for the Rainer, New Habits for Blaze, Proc Ride for ETC, and Simple Geometry for that Hanzo, as well as things across for Jaina. So a couple questing talents here. But just of note, just that Exterminator for the Rainer is just a really good tool, as we talked about in the draft. But either way, rotations will begin. The Arc actually already playing towards that top lane. Noah going to have to get the agility over the wall. Make a clean disengage right there.
Yeah, no taking a lot of poke, and looks like they're actually anchoring Leoric in the top lane. So it is going to be a 4-man rotation to the bot lane to try to pester out the Blaze. It is a lane he can hold, to be fair. Blaze is very good actually at holding 4v1s. I would like to see Funds just catch this wave, stop autoing there, but he does look like he's going to be pushing in mid, and Shock's already got the mid wave down, but Malka is taking a lot of damage. Able to pass that heal proc. Russ taking a lot of damage as well. Juggy just doing a good job sidestep the root there. But yeah, I would have really liked to see Funds just catch the wave on his side. It's kind of similar to what Liam's doing here, actually. Because of the new Globe experience, you know, I think solo laners should do this more often. You can abuse XP leads via it. He is rotating down now to this turret as they look to invade.
It's going to be a orb from Li Ming. They're going to have Jaina throw some snow on that point. That's going to be a huge stun from Funds on the right-hand side. This is going to be the camp stone away. Maka does manage to grab that turret immediately. Russ is going to power slide out. Funds trying to back out of here. Looks like Heavy's got enough heal for them. They actually drop the turret and they turn around. Not going to find the kill, but still a good invade, a good steal, and a good denial in favor for the members of Shock. Also to note, Hanzo, 19 stacks of Simple Geometry right now. If you're wondering at home how many they need, well, they needed 20 and they just finished it.
Yeah, so Hanzo quest done in a minute 51, pretty good.
Yeah, just, you know, casual.
But they do start the heal camp up here, looking to, you know, take that mid priority that they have from their wave clear and pick up this heal camp. That's also a really nice thing about having your solo laner in the top lane on this map, is his ability to just kind of be right there at the heal camp. But Funds does punish that just a bit by pushing in the bottom lane. We can see that level advantage start to come together for Team Shock here, as they are about a half level ahead.
Yeah, we do have our first objective announced right there. It'll be up and available at the 3-minute mark, so in 20-some seconds. Blaze catching another wave in bottom lane. Doesn't seem like they're going to try and pressure out. Godfilth is just going to go ahead and Hearth out and just make sure they're full on mana for this. We do have Noah and Legacy grabbing the right-hand side, and it looks like Carbon will finish out the left, actually just waiting to the last second to grab that, so it goes into wave a little bit later. We usually see 7 talents here during or right before this objective phase, so we're going to be sitting right at the 6th level for both these teams just about. Might be seeing some side soak, like Leoric is still in top lane. Carbon and Maka, no, they're not going to be going to try and get a kill on them. They're just going to go up here and clear this wave back. But objective phase is up, and they're going to be trying to brawl over this one. McIntyre, as we still have an Iron Skin out from Joanna, but they also do have the Bida Committer up and available if necessary.
Yeah, and Fun's going to connect the charge there into a root. Good damage on Noah, but the heal is going to be slapped down on the ground. And actually a really good position on that. Very hard to clear that coming out from the Shock team. So Dutch team does show up, put in the pressure there on the ETC, and it is going to send the objective back in the favor of Team Storm here, possibly. Actually, Chijuggy there trolling just a little bit. He came off. Oh, Russ trolling as well, giving them the percentage now. I was going to say both of them kind of stepped off the platform for just a second. But it looks like they're just going to give it back, maybe try to start up the turret here in a second. Liam just clearing out that top lane. Just keep that experience coming in, right? They don't want to get behind. Using that Hanzo level 1 quest to clear this camp really quickly. And we actually get a 4v5 here. A nice sleep onto Russ. Gonna stop the slide. Godfield takes a lot of damage from that warp. And Russ is taken out of here. No, great W's coming out. Just 2 taps. And Funds is caught out here too by Liam. The drain is gonna connect. No jumping over here. A good slow oil. Probably gonna get Funds out of here. Great poke coming out from Carbon as well. But yeah, Russ is taking 2 W's to the face there from the Hanzo. Just taken out immediately.
Hanzo played off the back wall of that objective. Like literally, I saw the arrow go into it, and I was like, "ETC, you're dead." Like the entire scatter arrow just went into the back of that ETC, and yeah, they're gonna be going down right there. But death timers are fairly low. It's 8 to 8 in levels. We've only had 1 kill. That's only yielded them an extra 633 experience on the side of Storm. So without any sort of massive experience lead, they're actually going to be grabbing that camp on the left, and they're going to be looking to stop this objective phase going over to the enemy side. But they still have 60-some%, excuse me, 40-some%, maybe a little bit less now that keeps rising. So I think they might be able to force him off the point. We'll have to see here, as they do have the condemn from Joanna coming in. Vesper looking just to get a nice swing onto this enemy team. Maka's going to be getting hit with the fire grenade as well. Hanzo rips a couple arrows into the wall. That scatter arrow getting some value. Overtime is here in favor for Team Storm. If they can stay on this point, if they can force back the enemy team, they can give themselves the first trickle up protector, but they themselves have been forced off. They do have a little bit of time, so they can cycle back, tap the well, and maybe re-engage, as you see Russ doing on the left-hand side. But mcintyre, this looks like it potentially will be first objective over to Shock.
Yeah, I think we might see a re-engage here, right? Pre-10. Vespertine doing a good job. The slide comes out from Russ on a charge. Good CC chain. Vespertine taking so much, just chunked pretty much out of this fight. Legacy can sustain, but yeah, that was a great slide there from Russ. No hesitation there, and good follow-up from Funds to get that objective.
Nice route from Heavy onto Noah. Unfortunately, there just wasn't any sort of follow-up up and available for them, so they weren't able to lock down that Hanzo any further. But that, I was just about to be like, that's a dead Hanzo for sure. But no, they're able to get right out of there, and it's going to be 10 talent here just now coming through. Both teams not too far. Excuse me, the members of Storm not too far off themselves. I'm looking to see here. Hyperion will be the pickup for Reina, so we'll offer them a little extra siege and also anti-siege. Bunker was grabbed. We're seeing UTC and Malfurion holding, but I would expect it to be Mosh Pit. Maybe they'll actually fall out of this Trickle Protector power slide and look for one. That's going to be the Hyperion coming through, but can they get more than just the front gate?
I'd like to... Interested to see where this game goes when we hit the 13 talents here. Actually, Maka maybe caught out of position. A good Hanzo arrow is going to miss Entomb as well, pushing him out. A Bless Shield's going to connect. A nice cleanse coming out from Heavy. Maka just doing his little do-si-do. Possibly getting into the tree club. Nope, it is going to decay. Carbon's actually caught out of position. A nice arrow is going to come out on the Godfield. Jaina, the Welly is still up. She gets to slow onto Heavy. Maybe another one. Carbon is going to go down here. So we do get a 2 for 0. Potentially a heal camp, potentially a catapult or a turret camp, potentially an XP lead here. A lot of things to do on the map right now.
Got Filth actually had an amazing play during that fight. During the initiation, and when they were, well, I guess when they were forcing them back over the point and they still had the Trickle Protector up, Got Filth summoned the Water Elemental to chase Heavy and targeted them, so it actually split Heavy from the team fight. And that was, it was, because I was watching, it was like, Heavy's like way on the left side, and there's everyone still fighting and brawling out, and it was just such a really good split, and well played by the members of Storm, as we do see the camp on the left-hand side. No invade, but they were threatening as they managed to grab their own fortification camp on the right. And the 3 kills has yielded them a little bit of an experience advantage here, but the other factor to consider is the wave clear and also the siege that they've gone in from the side of Shock. That's really kept them up in this experience department. Maybe a dive into Hanzo?
No. Nah. I was gonna say, it was a really good cleanse from Heavy too. Even though he was zoned off, he was actually almost able to get Malk out of there. Had they gotten out of the tree call just a bit earlier, he might have been able to get in. Maybe had the Li Ming blink away. I don't know. It just spelled trouble the second that Storm decided that they wanted to engage that fight.
They want this fort though. They want the periodic catapult pressure. It's just, they're forcing them off and poking them, but they've got a good wave right behind them, and it's not going to take a whole lot for them to be able to burn that down. Li Ming's orb wasn't even necessary, but control point B will be up and available fairly soon. Oh, there's a dive. There's a power slide. Do we get a single? No, we don't get the solo dance. They don't even need it. Vesper will be going down, and they find themselves their first kill of the game on the side of Shock. That also pushes them up a little bit further in the experience department, maybe even pushing into mid lane harder here.
And you see the 13 picked up. I think this is the big power spike for Team Storm, just because of the cleanse heal dart from the Ana. It's going to allow Vespertine to play up, and if the ETC does choose to slide, as they've been doing, right, with the chain CSC, Vespertine is going to be able to drain, maybe use his E to get away. So it's just going to change the dynamic of how the fight has been going, where they've just one-shot the front line. Being able to cleanse that front line, and not only cleanse but give armor, is going to change. But Fun's actually looking for a charge here. Does miss on Noah as he jumps over the wall. But I like the aggression here coming out from Shock.
So far, like, good pressure across the map. Do they dive once again onto Vesper? No, it was once was enough. They were like, we're not falling for that one again. But objective phase is up here. It's 14s across the board. No like massive advantage. The only thing I will say is that there is no well up and available for the members of Storm during this next fight. So if they need to back off and tap well, they're gonna have to go back fairly far. ETC caught out right here, looking to maybe drop a mosh pit. They're gonna actually drop a bunker. There's Hanzo ripping an arrow. The bunker is immediately destroyed. Hyperion coming through. Still, they've dropped the biotic emitter. Sounds up from Heavy. Will find the kill onto the Johanna. So 1 for 1, as there will be the water elemental consistently putting out damage. Leork lands a massive entomb. Scatter arrow comes out from Hanzo, but Jaina gets the burst necessary. Fun so very low, gets hit with the biotic grenade, and that was actually enough to kill them. Heavy trying to make their way out of here, and things were looking good at the start, and they've gone sideways very fast for the members of Shock.
You know, the only thing I could think about when Liam hit that big entomb there was how cool a black hole would have looked being thrown into it. Is that just me or... Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't just me.
Some psionic storms this game would have been cool.
Yeah.
Maybe some tickle beams. Some force balls.
What are they? What's the level 4? The level 4 talent, like static barbed wire or tripwire or something.
Oh, electric fence.
Yeah, electric. Some electric fences in the entombs could have been pretty neat.
Yeah, you just lock them in there, and just pinball them around.
Overall, I think what we just saw that fight and what we continue to see is that Russ is hitting his heroic too early, and by that I mean he's sliding in, and that's ETC's one weakness, is when you use your Q. Once you slide, the gates are open, the floodgates are open, it's go time, and you saw immediately he slid in. It was a cool slide, he hit Ana, but then Ana nanoed Jaina, and then Jaina blew ETC up, and Blaze is probably going to get picked up here. Ooh, love the way the bunker mechanic works. Spits him out because there's not enough pixels to fit that thick boy in the bunker outside of the entomb, so a good play there by Funds.
Blizzard, please make entomb thicker. Please.
So that Blaze can just squeeze that massive body out of it.
Exactly. Or make Blaze less thick. Either way, 16's up. Are we having a base race right now? Because they're just currently sieging in through another hearthing back. But Vesper's getting the stop on the hearts. This is looking a little sideways here, McIntyre.
It's not looking good. The hand connects on the Funds. He needs to get damage on Godfield like right now. The core is a bit stronger though. What's the mechanic here, right? We got push hands.
Missiles? I believe it's like little missiles that fire out.
Yeah, there's little push hands. You can see them.
Oh no, it is the push hands. You're right. Trigla Protector's way too healthy here, unfortunately. We go to a game 5.
Wow. Yeah, same.
I should have wanted a game 45.
We should message him and say we just wanted a Tassadar black hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But actually, you know, I did eat my words there. I think the Rainer pick was a lot stronger than I had given it credit. It was the character that could put pressure on the Leork. Obviously, the game was lost due to a miscall or misplay and a great base race call. Also, a really good stall there coming out from Liam. But I will say that the Rainer last pick did do a good job of kind of pressuring that Leork and forcing on all in out of Team Storm. But they are able to pick up the win there in game number 4 as we work our way into the 5th game of the evening. Hopefully everyone's having a good time. Enjoying the in-house. We do these every Monday. Especially now the PTR is out. I mean, I almost want to just keep watching them play, right?
It's honestly, these games are so good, but we know what map we're going to, so I'm going to get that loaded up for here.
It's pretty good Tassadar map too, some would say.
You know, I'm just saying, it's not about Tassadar. This is actually the first map we were thinking about. So this map mechanic, the core mechanic on this one is that it shoots out the dark wave periodically, and I believe the cooldown for it seemed really, really short. So I was like, man, this might be one of those like core mechanics that really like force back the enemy team and makes ending the game difficult. But we'll have to see, because so far the core mechanics have been good. They just haven't been. It hasn't been like stopping. Like it hasn't been like, oh, this team might take it, and then it freezes them or it gets a little extra damage out. So I think it's part of the threat is really powerful of it overall. But right now, I mean, the mechanic it's present. I just don't know how I feel about it overall.
It's so hard to say. I'll say with the Volskaya one, it felt a little underwhelming. the lines.
The Frozen Novas, I agree. I agree. Those ones actually, that was some good zoning, but the yeah, those were weird.
The pot plants on Garden were
the polymorph.
It's like good and bad because there's only one at a time. Like the fact that there's 5-6 Novas all the way around the core, like that's a lot to deal with. Whereas like the little hands, they're like, you know, baby skill shots, right? Like that you see and then the hand comes out. You know, you could argue that, you know, for like something like a Greymane, potentially that thing spawns and then just immediately shoots out and pushes him. But even then, you're pushing the people away from your core, right? Wouldn't you want to slow them near it so you could continue to beat them in? And we also haven't really seen a like core attempt that hasn't just been a checkmate, right? Most all cores have been just checkmates. We haven't seen a check happen tonight, so like wow, this is a very close one.
If like Garden of Terror, for example, if those seedlings that it threw out, if it was more like the bosses on Warhead Junction, kind of like how those spawn out those. They throw out like like if it was like 2 or if it was like 3 or 4 maybe of those that were, you know, thrown out randomly, I think that would actually force the enemy team to kind of rotate around the core, maybe reposition for a potential. Like I think that's kind of the angle that I'm seeing right now is like if you were to add more of those at least on Garden of Terror specifically, just throwing more of those out, because then it would force the enemy team to reposition a little bit more, much like how it does on Infernal Shrines and Battlefield of Eternity. I think those are really, 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 really good.
I agree. I would have liked to see a little bit more, but we are going to get to see, like you said, the death wave, or so it reminds me or reads as if it's a Ragnaros wave that's kind of come out of the core when the other team gets close to it. So we'll see how it goes, but we are gonna hopefully be jumping in here now to game number 5. Again, Tomb of the Spider Queen. It is quite literally the Tassadar map. This is his bread and butter. He's been played on this map for the past 5 years. People have cast Storm on the waves, top to mid, top to mid, top to mid. Give him vision on the objectives. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna be upset.
I mean, I just keep putting black hole question mark and hopefully they'll respond to me. I put black hole question mark and I got true. So we'll see what all that means. But Tomb of the Spider Queen will be our game number 5. And just once again, this is the Heroes Hearth Celebrity Clash League in-house matches. As McIntyre mentioned, we do these on Mondays. These are best of 5s. Got a little money on the line for these players as well, so they can go home and order themselves a pizza, maybe get some Taco Bell, probably the Taco Bell. And you know, this week we are going to be on the PTR because we did have a massive patch today on said PTR for the upcoming season. So we're checking out all those changes. But the big thing is going to be the Tassadar rework, which is the reason we're memeing about Black Hole and Tassadar is because of the fact that we would like to see them played. We force the teams to say, you know, oh, you can't ban it for, you know, in games 1 and 2, and then game 3 hit, and they're just like, we don't actually care about it. So let's see what we get here, as it will be an Ana ban. No one wants Ana on both teams has been really, really, really strong.
It's an impressive character. If you don't build a comp around defeating it, you have a hard time dealing with it. And it's like one that you're like, oh well, this character, you know, she's sustained, but like she's also kind of burst healing, but also she's kind of like, hey, I can just turn off one of your character's ability to get healed. It's just it's a lot, you know. In the sleep dart, we even saw Russ. He looked like he had a really good slide on the objective there on the last Volskaya, and as his slide was about to connect with the Ana, she was actually able to sleep dart him. So it just immediately stopped him in his tracks, and now, you know, he's full CD'd, gets set up. Hanzo connects a massive W, and he goes down. So, but we are going to see the Zul Greymane banned here, as well as the Mephisto, so no Tassadar ban.
Sorry, I have draft chat. I'm going to put Tass and hope that they first pick it.
They don't have to no one has to first pick it. If they don't want to first pick it, okay, Maka. Yo, I gotta whisper Maka to build.
Thank you. You know, I'm all caps thanking them. So we got 50% of it. We got 50%. We just need to get Black Hole now at 10, and we've checked all those boxes.
Add Maka in the chat right now and say, go Q build with Black Hole trust. All right?
Q build with Black Hole. And then in quotes, trust.
Yeah.
I whispered it to him.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so Joanna Stukov on the right-hand side. More zone potential with the Stukov. Joanna's just strong on a rotation-heavy base map to be able to group up minions. You can burn them down with a Kael'thas, a Jaina. That's often the prioritized mage. Since we do have this Tassadar on the left-hand side, this is typically, or at least what these teams have considered being the mage, so I doubt we'll see one coming out from them. ETC's up and available, and Russ has had some good ETC power slides and stuff. I'd say lean into that.
Yeah, for sure. Russ is going to pick up the ETC and the Sylvanas, which was something that we were discussing, being really strong now, especially with the new buffs to the towers. Like, guess what? They just don't work. Sylvanas passive. Yeah, she's really good here. I mean, their comp already, just these 3 characters on Tomb of the Spider Queen is terrifying. But it is very possible if a cleanse support is not taken that Russ will get handled, right? Just Bless Shield into the Stukov silence. Yeah. But it is in my opinion, it is a bit of a skill matchup. I think as ETC, as you know, the tank, it is possible to step to that team without just getting immediately blown up. You know, depending on how their team is lined up or standing. And they may have been actually targeting out Noah. I like this a lot. Because again, Tassadar no longer can deep shift, right? He if he gets caught out, he probably is dead in most cases. So just getting rid of the ability for them to just kind of all in engage is really nice. But they do have to allow Liam to pick up the Yrel here in response.
If you're running away and you self-cast, so, you know, like, you can hold Alt and you can self-cast things. If you Alt-E, does it drop the force wall in front of you or behind you?
I'm not sure. I don't even know if you can Alt-E, though. I don't think you can self-cast force wall.
Oh, okay. Because that was the only thing I was just like, I wonder if you, like, self-target force wall.
You can do what you're thinking, though. Like,
okay.
If Mav were to pull you, you could throw the force wall and just kind of squeeze the 2 of you, and then you would bank up against the wall. Yeah, that is possible.
That's what I'm trying to like look at the plays here, because right now we're you know, they would have had that Maiev that would have been pulling them around right there, but like Joanna pulls them in. Wandering Keg from Chen will be very, very interesting as Chen is Tracer. Okay.
Yikes.
Okay. Apparently it was a random, but it's a Tracer. We take these.
That's okay. That's okay. You good?
Either way,
all
right.
Good.
So
you good.
we're. You thought I?
It's okay. It's fine.
Either way, we got it all figured out. We're going to be going into game number 5. So the Chen, if you're wondering, that was a Tracer. So we are going to be seeing Tracer into this one. They must have just walked away to go get a new 40 because you got to stay hydrated. 40 ounces of water is what they were getting. But we do have this. We do have this Tassadar. We do have semi-confirmed, you know, Q build with Black Hole, because I was messaging them and they said,
I don't know. They have a Tracer now. It might be an Archon game, but I'm not gonna. I hate that. I hate that that's a reality.
No.
No,
because
here's never hit Tracer.
Here's the thing: if Tracer tries to dive in, you just Black Hole her, and then you power slide and you blow. It'll be easy, no problems whatsoever.
There's a Yrel, a Tracer, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what Mock is feeling. I still think the Q build is really powerful. Even if you,
I agree.
Even if you go Archon, I think if you go Q1 passive armor for Q7, because then you have the increased auto range. Like, I think people are sleeping on that too. Like, you get 1 additional range. Like, that's a substantial amount of range. It gives him the ability to like keep that distance. Wallace also buffing your Q, and then you can take the Giant Slayer Q at 16 that everyone keeps taking, and like get real value out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throwing it at the Joanna, throwing it at the Yrel. I mean, it's like a 7 second CD. What is it? What's the total CD on it? It's like a 3.5 second CD, I think. Once you're full.
For his
Q, right? So his Q is a 7 seconds. Yeah, so you get 100% uptime. So it's a 3.5 second CD, and that's without the level 16 talent, which would then increase your regeneration by 25% faster. So you could be queuing like every 3 seconds, something like that.
Dear Lord.
Just right.
If you're still doing rotations between lanes, you're easily going to be able to get that cooldown as well, because you're just going to be able to poke at them consistently. Like, I'm excited to see this. I'm definitely excited to see this happen. But we just need to get our last player back into. Yeah, I haven't seen them log back in. Apparently, they're loading into the game still. So they'll be back in here in just a second. We'll get into our game number 5. We are on the PTR. I do see a question. Who's the next hero? It's probably going to be Ravenlord, right? I don't know. His face is all over the PTR. Yeah. Someone in chat was saying, "Who's the next hero?"
It should be.
I mean, so realistic. If you want to
jump,
the Dark
Nexus is happening right now. Yeah, we can.
Watch. Like if you look at any of the background stuff, it's always his face. Like literally right now,
we can see it.
Yeah. Even the lobbies for any of these games, like it's the game itself, it's like the splash image, but it still has his face kind of like back there. Yeah, it's I don't know, the artwork for the Dark Nexus events are so good. I love these events so much. I'm pumped for this and to be coming out in 2 weeks. But until then, go play the PTR and give them some good feedback so they know what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, the new tower changes, new task rework, new core changes. Yeah, it's a lot of exciting things, and I think some people are happy, some people are upset about the matchmaking changes that also was introduced. There's two. I mean, yeah, there's 2 core things happening there. So the first one is that I actually think this is for the better. They're merging the queues, right? So Central and West are now being merged, so you'll get quicker games, which is sweet. But the thing that people are mad about is that you can now duo past Master. So before you got Master, you couldn't duo with friends. Now you still can, which maybe people start smurfing again. But who knows? We're going to be jumping into this game now. Looking at the right side here, Team Storm, we're going to have Vespertine on the URL. Chuggy is going to be on that Joanna Legacy on the Stukov. Noah is going to be playing a Tracer, and Gotfilth is on the Jaina.
On the left-hand side, we got the Shock. We got Mach on the Tassadar, Carbon will be on the Sylvanas, Funds will be on the Malthael, Russ on the ETC, and we have got Heavy Bruton on the Malfurion. I got a message from Maka that literally says, "It's Q build, but I'll go W at 1, smile."
Bro, okay. You get mana from your passive. You don't need it. What's wrong with these people? It doesn't increase your damage, Bahamut. It doesn't do anything.
Apparently it does something to the point where they think it's more of a priority in this build, so we're going to get into rotations, but either way, they are going to be also seeing Funds versus Vesper in bottom lane. Malthael into Urel is going to be a really fun matchup. We'll try our best to keep an eye on this one to see if there's any sort of major dives, because Funds will force Vesper back a wee bit here. Just going to wait for the next wave to come in, and we're just going to see more rotations between lanes. Noah providing consistent damage with this Tracer. Also going to be getting those teleports out of there. Power Slide from the ETC. There's a root from the Malfurion as well. There's a Force Wall to try and force the Joanna to just stay and engage into the enemy team. So far, the aggression from Shock is really well played.
Yeah, just priority on the waves here. A lot of the pressure coming out from the Tassadar, obviously, but yeah, you can see they have the mid-top priority. Team Storm is kind of chasing their hills, and Malthael is going to go down to the Urel. The one factor that people always tend to forget about in the bottom lane is that people can rotate. People can rotate from the middle lane, and Tracer is a wonderful character at doing that. So she's able to pick up. What's up?
No, the solo lane does not get rotations. I've experienced this in many of my games. If you play solo lane, no one comes to help you ever. This is a foreign concept to me.
Yeah, sometimes you just live on an island. Sometimes you have visitors.
Sometimes you get pushed in by a Zagara the entire time, and you're 7-death Zildjian who never finished the quest baseline, and Headhunter never rotates to the top to help you out.
Wait, is that the big brain force wall that I just saw there?
I think so.
Good slide there from ETC as well, though, to get Mach out of there. We just see now that look at the wave clear on that man. Imagine if he had a talent that made his Q actually deal more damage instead of his W just doing the same amount of damage.
Okay, here we go. Induction at level 4. Casting Shock Ray grants Tassadar 15% increased movement speed for 3 seconds. If an enemy hero is hit, increase the speed bonus to 25%.
Perfect. He's already started on the Q build journey.
power slide from ETC. There's a force wall as well. Doesn't look like they find anyone. They're just going to clear this wave out. Neither team has availability for turn-in, but they're working their way in. Should be a couple more rotations between these lanes for both these teams, but I think we should be seeing a first Web Weaver face fairly soon. As I was watching Noah dive onto funds on the minimap, but wasn't able to find a kill with that pulse bomb.
Shogi doing a good job here to condemn the wave as well. Just one tap it out. Legacy taking some damage here, and you see Maka just zooming after he connects his Q there. Noah taking a lot of damage. Good triple blink out. Legacy doing his best to keep him sustained up. But I think the real main thing of the actual Q talent at level 1, Bahamut, is the fact that it builds resonating beam, or what's his passive, right? So every Q deals or builds 33% of it. So it's possible to Q their team and immediately have a full passive. You don't have to stand around and auto attack. So while the damage is also, in my opinion, significant, really where the strength of that talent is coming from is the fact that you can build up your passive without having to auto, right? Because teams and players can punish the fact that they know that you're going to try to auto to get 100%. But like here, right, Maka autoed for like 2 seconds and then hit his Q on 2 people. He would immediately now have full beam, which would be giving him passive mana regen. Again, he just hit 2 there. Yeah, so
I see it. I see this build as well.
The mana from the level 1 Storm talent would just come back to you every time you cast your Q.
We do have beam alignment at level 7 while Resonance Beam is fully charged. Tassadar basic attack range is increased by 1, and Shock Rays cooldown refreshes 100% faster. So here's the thing.
With the beam, the beam has to be charged though, Bob.
See, and that's the thing, is you were just talking about getting that beam charged up. That level 1 pairs into the 7 so very well. But either way, that's something you'll have to watch for. If you're wondering what the beam charge is, you're currently seeing Tassadar just, the beam kind of looks standard. Once it kind of has like a glowing, it almost has like a secondary beam revolving around that. You'll really be able to tell that's the 100%. I'll do my best to keep an eye on that number so I can let you all know what it visually looks like, as this is Joanna trying to get a turn, and they do have enough for their first Web Weaver phase down here. Was it one interrupt? Tassadar does get 1 Size Storm over to them, so that buys them a little bit of time. Vesper coming in here. Urel jumps in. There's going to be a lurking arm from Stukov. Pulse Bomb comes out from Tracer. They find the kill on the side of Storm.
That's a lot of gems.
Yep.
And that's exactly the kind of thing I was talking about, where this is kind of a skill matchup in the fact that Russ, as ETC, has the ability to get out, but he can also get picked. And it's up to him to kind of know that he's at danger at any point in time, right? And he was unable to do that here, and we do get a turn in here coming out from this side of Storm.
Okay, so right now, if anyone's wondering, the beam is at 100%. Of course, there you go. So that's the beam right there at 100%. Russ is actually going to power slide away. Sylvanas does go down on the left-hand side to, I believe, a pulse bomb from Tracer. No, actually, no, it's only a 30-some%, so I think they just managed to get a little bit of damage and then recall. But this will be top lane pressure coming in, and this is a big wave through top lane with it. Web Weaver, those dark waves are going to be getting a lot of good siege in here as well, as Tracer steps up, looking down towards bottom. Malphite clearing that out, and the rest of the team will be managing mid lane. But no 10 talents used. They got a half a level to go, and I think they're going to lose their top lane fort here, mcintyre.
Yeah, the fort and potentially the wall. This is a pretty juicy wave. We'll see if they continue to push forward. They do have the 10 advantage. I don't see why they wouldn't. Nice Bless Shield coming out. Pulse Bomb as well. The silence coming out from the Stukov. Is Russ going to go down? He should have a W. Nope. He is taken out. He must have slid the wave or something there. I'm not really sure.
He power slid into the wave and queued as well. Or excuse me, face melted. So yeah, he burned everything power sliding into the enemy team wave, and then I was watching. I was like, that's an interesting, because usually you don't like. They had, I don't know, it just splitting the wave like that, I guess it does deal the damage, and they did go into the talents for that, you know, with Pinball Wizard and everything, but still, it was just weird for me overall. But it looks like they're going to be going for back-to-back turn-ins. No way for them to interrupt this. Tassadar, Maka.
Oh,
Maka. We talked about this.
He gets full beam, though. He gets full beam. He gets full beam. When he hits R, he gets full beam. Just think about it that way. All right, we have a pause coming out here. We're going to try to figure out what these players are up to.
There's lag on one player currently.
Okay, so he does get full beam. He didn't take. So this is how I'm taking this. He messed up the build. He recognizes that he made a big boo boo by not taking the level 1 Q. How do you fix that? You take the wrong heroic, right? He's gotta make up for his mistake because he can't build up the beam and maintain it. And so now he's just gonna push a button and have it for 12 seconds. So at least for 12 seconds he can shoot out 4 lasers. I mean, I think it has value.
I just want to see Black Hole. That's all I wanted tonight.
Yeah, me too, but
all right, let's go ahead and get back into this because they are both ready. So we'll go ahead and count them back.
Sometimes
we'll
you just gotta leave your dreams to your sleeping state, not the reality.
It's all right. In 2 to 3 weeks, I'm sure there's a team that I'll cast that'll be doing this. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Well, we'll see. Either way, 11's up on both sides. 0 to 4 in kills, and a second Webweaver phase is coming out in favor for our team Storm on the right-hand side. This is a best of 5 series. Looks like we do have a DC.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So we got a DC now. They do have an AI. They did rework the AI on the PTR.
The AI, yeah, they did make some changes on the AI.
The AI doesn't just like run it down and die anymore.
It does, like, yeah, because they're actually saying they changed like how it works when it's pinged. So like if it's pinged to you and it has like the big complaint in the past was that on Blackheart's Bay they would never turn in. So they would literally they made it so that when you ping them and if you walk near it, they'll utilize or they turn in. Same thing with other maps. If you walk by, like turn in for Webweaver or a well or something like that. All right, let's
Are we jumping back in?
Yeah, we have a ready from both teams, so I will go ahead and push the buttons, and we are back on into this as we do have Webweavers, second one of the game, coming down into lane in favor for the members of Storm. As we noted, it will be that second spawn for them, so back-to-back Webweavers as Carbon's just going to juke them a little bit right there, and everyone's back on in, and let's see what this push yields them on the side of Storm.
You know, I actually was thinking about it. Sukov's range on his E is pretty far, right? But he does stand still. Imagine if you threw a bowling ball at Stukov. He would have to move, right, Baha? I assume so. But in this case, we have an Archon instead.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could have just thrown out a Black Hole and power slid in and, you know, silence from Malfurion, Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas. It's not like there's a big Wombo ready to go or anything like that, but,
you know, sometimes that's just life. That's just life.
Archon. It's just sometimes you get Black Hole,
sometimes you hit Archon and the other team just backs up.
True.
Or you hit Archon and sometimes they just blind you and you don't do anything. But you know, at least he's throwing out some lasers. I respect it.
Okay, so blue Webweavers will descend in favor for the members of Shock.
Somehow we got a tournament.
To note, these do go, the map mechanic for this is the Webweavers will descend out as far up as the enemy minion wave is, so that's why you're seeing funds trying to rapidly clear out top lane, so it will descend further out. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. Bottom lane going to be crashing pretty far up, or pretty far back, and then same thing in mid lane as well. Not a very far spawn for these Webweavers. They do lose health over time as well, which is something of note because they are going to be further back, so the longer they have to travel down the lane, they're going to be losing health over time. It's a Bless You Rip from the Dawn. There's going to be a pulse bomb out from the Tracer, as well as Tassadar was able to keep themselves okay for a couple seconds. Icelands from Got Felt as Funds is taking a lot of damage right there. Rel jumps in. There's going to be a Force Wall, Power Slide, ETC forces them back. There's a huge silence out from the Stukov as well. Silence from Heavy as well to answer that one. And mcintyre, they find themselves a kill.
I'm amazed. Look at the pressure coming out. A good push in here from Team Chalk to kind of bounce some momentum back in their favor. Potentially looking into, I don't think they can get another turn after this, but you know, another pick would be really great. Stukov slide here, Russ connecting. He's just gonna opt the W. Carbon taking a lot of damage. The Q coming out to punish. Heavy also under pressure from Noah. A nice W there from Russ again to keep that W reset going. Legacy looks for a root. It is gonna connect on the ETC, but he has that W to knock him away. A nice slide re-engage on Gotfield, taking a lot of pressure from Carbon, but the W is gonna knock him away. And then there's so many ETC Ws. He's running out of mana.
Tracer's still chasing in over here as well, as Carbon will be able to get the Haunting Wave away. Noah does manage to force them back, and they lose their Tassadar. This looks like it's going to be a quick boss call coming out from the side of Storm. Really quickly wanted to update everyone at home when it comes to some of the questing talents. ETC finished the proc rock at level 1. Jaina finished the Fingers of Frost at level 1 as well, sitting at 4,705 under frostbite damage out of the 15,000 necessary, and also Subdue has not been finished by the Joanna just yet, and 0 stacks on the last rights for Malthael, but boss was grabbed. No turn-in with this as well. They need caster math is kicking in. I think they need like 4 more waves or something like that for them to be able to get this, so I don't think we're going to see the Web Weaver plus boss, but they're going to leave that in lane, and I think chase out and maybe look for a fight to delay them from backing and clearing this.
So there was a positive there that Funds was able to get in his gems on Matthew. So 27 gems here actually coming out from Team Shock, so they do have a potential to get another turn in. They really just want to either force this fight here for 316, especially with the Joanna showing bot. I'd like to see just a full all-in here.
Ooh.
You know, try to get value with that hards. Now they're going to be able to group. They're going to have the 16s. They now have the turn-ins. This is where, like, a Tomb of the Spider Queen game gets just blown out, right?
Yeah, Boston top. There's no way they stopped the turn-in either. They managed to... The boss pulled them away long enough where it's soft push top lane, and now they get the turn-in, and this will be Web Weavers. And these are, in top lane, these are going to be descending fairly far up. I wonder if they try and rush it in through top lane, or if they go for wave clear. Also to note, Urel, not even close to the right name, is going to be on this bottom lane camp grabbing some Siege Giants for bottom lane, and it seems like maybe this is going to be an all-in through bottom. Yeah.
I'm going to assume that they look to proxy out top. No, they got top push pretty far out. They're just going to look to take the 5v5. Bless Shield coming out on Amaka. Good cleanse, though. He's going to Archon to get that shield, but it is just not near enough. So much damage coming out from the Storm side. Heavy's going to go down as well, trying to get that Twilight out before he goes down. Godfilth, last rights, not going to be enough either, and that's 3 for 0 here on the Punisher with catapults. Everyone looking pretty healthy. This is smelling disastrous.
This is a big wave for bottom lane McIntyre. They're going to be trying to get this web for Andy.
We get the wave of death, Bah.
Yeah, I know. We get
prayer.
So the necrotic wave is going to be that blue line or that blue stuff.
It did
actually,
nothing.
but into the minion wave. Okay, hold on. Into the minion wave, it's doing nothing. Like, why is
it's doing nothing?
Does it only hit heroes? It literally is not doing anything to. That feels very undertuned, but either way, that is going to be the final game going over to the side of Storm. They take the best of 5 series and the prize pool.
Legacy straight up said, "Let me see what this feels like," and it was like, "Oh." I was just like, feel him just be like, "Oh," like he just literally let that thing hit him. The slow is nice. But like,
what? Hold on, let me try.
Just 5% damage, right?
I want to find. Is that it? Is that legit it when it comes to...
typed it. Every 5 seconds, the core will shoot a death wave, dealing 5 maximum health as damage to heroes and slowing them 70% for 1.25. So it doesn't touch the minion wave. It only hits heroes.
Wild.
And as you saw there, if there's a Stukov passive on your character, you actually just don't lose health.
Pretty much.
Like all it takes is a Stukov Q or like a mouth Q. Or...
So, at the end of our series this evening, some closing thoughts. McIntyre, how do you feel about Stukov now?
I still think he's bad. I mean,
I like that entire series. Like we saw so much Stukov. I thought that would be a good example of how good he is, because like the lurking arm setups that we had consistently, like the blessed shield and lurking arm. Oh, it's just spicy.
Yeah, it's just, man, it feels like such a linear combo.
Okay,
I guess is my problem.
You're saying it's too pedestrian for you.
So
you need some more.
There was a reason. There was
like a black hole.
Listen, yes, okay. They need some sort of disengage. Like they need a way to shut down like the all in, right? They never had that. They could have had that from a black hole. But I was gonna say, like, you know, there was a time and when Heroes Hearth was winning at pretty much every game, we were just playing this comp. It's very hard for teams to deal with. But if you draft a team comp that can't be blessed shielded, that has, you know, that kind of breaks the form of just like getting one banged, then you immediately counter the whole strategy, right? So here, it had a lot of pressure on Russ, and to catch Russ in the top lane sliding in W minions because he took a pretty terrible level 7 talent. Like, yeah, you're gonna lose. So I'm not sure.
Do we want to jump into a quick winners interview?
I don't know.
While we still have them down there?
Yeah, let's hop in. Let's hop into a winners interview. Let's chat. Try to get their Tassadar opinions, I think.
There we go. I got you, McIntyre.
You pulled me?
Yep.
Hog shampoo. All right, guys.
Well, congratulations, everyone.
Yeah. Congrats on the win. Thanks for
Thanks.
playing. How was
Thank you.
how terrible is Tassadar?
Seems okay. He does a lot of damage. He's just really immobile and really squishy.
Do you think that Archon is actually the correct time? Like, no one took Black Hole. I'm confused. Like, isn't Black Hole insanely powerful, or am I just blind?
I think Black Hole's good, but I think because he's played 3 games, right? Like, I think, or has he played 4?
He's played in 3 games.
At least in games 1 and 2, Archon was the pick for sure. I don't know about this last one. Like, this last one just seemed like a really bad Tassadar game. Not gonna lie. Like, it's really hard for that character to do anything in the Archon. But I think at least games 1 and 2 were like pretty clear Archon games, just because you want to play front to back, and like maybe you can wombo with Black Hole and like get some value in a team fight that way. But if you're untouched with Archon, then you're gonna pog out.
Yeah, but wasn't it in game 1? I want to say you had Archon on Ana 1v1, and like you got her half health.
That was, if you're talking about the bot fight, like she
Yes.
broke Vision 3 times. Heavy played around Vision pretty well there. Or I canceled like 2 of my autos. And like 2 Archon autos is the difference between half health and dead pretty well. I mean, like,
yeah, because it was a split fight, and we there was a whole another thing happening on the right side of the screen. But I was just kind of watching, and I didn't realize they were playing around the Vision because we see just everything. So that changes because like both Mac and I were like, why didn't you win that engagement? Because you should have, absolutely. Like, but yeah, okay, they were playing around Vision. That definitely changed things.
Does Task Storm not give Vision?
It does give Vision, but I didn't have Storm on that fight. I don't imagine.
Okay.
I definitely
I'm
like
curious.
broke 2 or 3 autos through Bush Vision.
I feel that.
Would you say draft wise, maybe let's put in the realm of like Storm League? Where do you think Tassadar lies? Like, is he first pick material? Is he somewhere kind of later in the composition, or is it still being figured out, you think?
I think it's map dependent.
Yeah.
Seems like he could be prioritized more on like Tomb or Infernal, but I don't think he's worth first pick.
No, he's not like Zool after the rework or anything.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem that impactful.
Okay.
He's gonna fall into. Oh, go ahead.
I think from a support player's perspective, I feel like there weren't any like real wall value plays, which like just having played a lot of Tassadar, like you can make a lot of big plays with wall. So I think just like getting more experience with it and used to the talent, and it sounded like the range might be shorter on that. I don't know, somebody was saying it seems shorter.
Yeah,
I think that's where a lot of the early value will be against like a Johanna or something that comes in, uses her trait, thinks she can get away, but you can like wall her and then combo her.
Because you tried to run a Diablo with Tassadar.
That won, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was
that comp just stomped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I think talking on the force wall thing too, I don't think anyone ever like paired like force wall Storm Q, right? I think there's actually, it almost looks like when he Qs, you can it basically like insta autos afterwards as well. And I want to say God Filth was, I was reading just a little slightly because you took the 7 talent that you storm and then Q, but then you were just throwing Q and then storming. And I think if you line up, like, there is a world, I feel like, where if you line up your wall and then you do that combo, the Storm Q Storm, it will do like massive damage. If his numbers are correct. I obviously we're just playing him for the first time today.
Yeah, it'd probably do a lot of damage if you did it, but I feel like that'd be kind of hard to pull off. But if you're good, probably.
you kind of get the wall. What the wall lasts for 2 seconds, right? So you get like a little bit of time to decide where they're going to be standing. It does come down to landing your Q, though.
A big thing I heard in comms was the wall range wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So like I understand that seems like it could be maximized, but like because it was people's first time playing it, the wall range actually screwed up like a lot of combos. Like we won with Diablo and Tassadar on that, but I think it was more because of Cage Breath than Tassadar itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was also a lot of there's a delay on the Tassie now as well, right? On the wall.
Yeah.
Is there?
There's a 0.5 second delay, so it's kind of hard to
It's
land
not
it.
instant. It's not an instant
Yeah.
spawn and immediately start body blocking.
No, it's not.
That definitely changes things, yeah.
I think that as far as like the original question, where like where is Tassadar gonna go in draft priority? He deals a lot of damage, and he's got some significant utility through Force Wall and the slows he can bring. But like he's just gonna be as good as any immobile mage is. You know, like Jaina's really powerful because she has the burst, but like her weaknesses are immobility, and I think Tassadar's gonna fall into a similar spot. If people can find value out of the incremental advantages you can get with like slows and force walls and that kind of stuff, as well as like the consistent damage that's like probably a little bit less than Gul'dan's but like similar, then he'll definitely see play.
No, these are super exciting games, and thank you for testing all this, and congratulations on your Game 5 win as well. That was a lot of Heroes of the Storm from all of you. If there's any shots that you'd like to give, we can just run through from the top to bottom. We can start with Got Filth if you'd like.
No shoutouts.
That's fine. Give you the opportunity. I mean, you can. I mean, if you stream, talk about your stream channel or something. I don't know.
I'll shout out CPX's stream. Twitch.tv/freepx.
There we go.
Paul Garros from CPX and Carbon Sleeming is godly.
True.
Thanks again to you guys for putting this on, and then twitch.tv/freepx.
Yeah, just shout out to you guys. It's been a lot of fun playing in these every week. Thanks for casting and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks to you guys, like Liam said, for casting these. It's been a lot of fun. And just want to throw a shout out to the best range player of the current generation, twitch.tv/freepx.
Thank you. Congratulations on your victory. You all have a great night, and we'll see you all next week.
You too. Thank you.
Later.
Thanks.
Alrighty.
All right, Ba. Well,
that was a fun series that we had, but if people were interested, they're like, man, I had fun with that. Like, where could they see more of this? Is there like a YouTube channel that some of these games go up on?
The Heroes Hearth YouTube channel. We are uploading these. Obviously, are going up there. We have 3 shows every week. We do that on Heroes Wednesdays. We have a show with Grubby, Nubkicks, Heku, a bunch of great EU players. There's a show in the afternoon that's usually stars me, and I hang out with people like Liam, who was just playing in these games, Beckwin, and then we have an evening show, which is a lot of fun. Players like Mockery and Kyberries. That's on Wednesday. Our YouTube channel has tons of good content. We actually just had Kyle Ferguson upload a video today about should you ban Deathwing, which I actually think is an awesome video. He's got great concepts, and I really enjoyed it. So if you guys want to check that out, if you're looking for some more Heroes content out there, the Heroes Hearth channel is popping off as far as Heroes of the Storm content comes.
On the note of Kyle as well, they're on this podcast. You might have heard it. They've got like a casual 300 episodes called Into the Nexus. But a big thing they used to talk about, which is what I learned from back when I was starting to play this game and they were in the hundreds area, was they had episodes, they would talk about positioning and what characters to pick in drafts and all that stuff. And Kyle also last week had a video on positioning. And I would say if you're ever caught out, if you feel like you're dying a lot and you feel like you are out of position or getting picked off a lot, it's a very good video. He's really good at explaining concepts and showcasing them as well. So definitely check out that one if you want more content. But the Heroes Hearth YouTube channel has a ton of good resources, and also their website is a good place to put together builds and discuss them as well. But mcintyre, you guys have been killing it over there on that channel, and it has been great watching all that content, and we're making more this evening. But I believe that wraps it up for us this evening for the Heroes Hearth Celebrity Clash League house matches.
I want to also acknowledge Baha coming out here, Twitch partner now. You know, so I'll give a round of applause.
We did it. We did it, team.
He worked super hard for that. I think
The day before April Fool's Day too.
Incredibly deserved. So
thank you.
And obviously helping us out here, casting these games with me, making me not feel like a total noob.
It's fun Monday nights, but yeah. On that note, really quickly, you can find me typically Tuesday through Thursday at this point, casting Heroes of the Storm over my channel. I have YouTube as well, and you can find me Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all at Bahamut Gaming. But I believe that wraps it up for us. Go to the Heroes Hearth YouTube page, hit that bell, hit subscribe, make sure you're watching those videos. But until then, we'll see you all on Monday, and we'll see you in the Nexus. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.